we are celebrating the first day of summer.
And sweat will just be dripping off our naked bodies.
The beach is a perfect place to pick up chicks.
Speedo is French for maximum package exposure.
I'm not blushing. I'm sunburned.
So hot!
Bikini waxes for everybody.
You wear thongs?
Are you ready to party?
If he gets too much direct sunlight, he'll die.
Guys, we have to get the bikini ready. Something about a gal in a bikini holding a belt sand.
Yeah, my bikini wax.
Hey, when you get done with that sunblock, you think you get handsome over here? You don't want to get too burnt out.
You know, when I was a kid, I got a sunburn like that and just peeled all the skin off, put it in a pile and ate it.
And you'll need a bikini for the hot tub.
Where's the party?
All right, a little summer breeze. Welcome in on the summer solstice, the first official day of summer, although I think we've been celebrating for a couple weeks now. Westmore, Justin Acree, and the Wizard, Christian Weaver, back in the Oaklawn Racing Casino Resort studio on this wonderful Wednesday, boys. Happy solstice.
Summer's here.
Yes.
9:57. We've had now officially 12 minutes of summer.
Is that when it hits exactly?
9:57. It was exact time this
I didn't
morning.
know they set that. That's
yeah,
a thing?
that's when the sun, they can now have the exact time the sun goes over the Tropic of Cancer, right over it. And it's at 9:57. And so now we've officially been in summer for 12 minutes.
Yeah, we can't find the sub. It was near the
Well,
Titanic.
we got a noise.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's encouraging, right?
Yeah.
They still don't know if they find it, how they're going to get it up. The
Hello.
sub.
Did you guys, were you guys up for the sunrise this morning?
No.
I like the sunrise sunset on summer solstice.
When does the sunset today? Is it like,
I don't know. Wes?
like 8:45, something like that?
Check your phone.
Yeah, it'll tell me.
So I got a phone issue.
What's wrong?
It's flashing.
What does
My
that mean?
screen is going out. I'm getting these white flashes and turned it off. And I got the green screen when it came back on. I didn't think I was going to get it back on. Then finally it came back on, but I can't even really look at my phone because of the white flashes. It bothers my eyes. It gives me, it gives me a headache. So
Maybe time for a new one.
Maybe.
That's where I'm going after the store today.
After
the show today, I'm going to the store.
You are probably overdue anyway. I'm like 5 models behind, and my phone's fine, but
I'm on the 8, and it still works fine, so I don't have to get a new one.
That's so, typical me. Allison got a new phone a couple years ago, and she got the 13 Pro.
a couple years ago, a couple weeks ago, a couple months ago.
And so she gave me her old phone, which was a 10. And so she'd been using it a couple years, and I've been using it years now. So you're right. It's time for an upgrade. But she was like, hey, you need to go get a new phone. I'm like, nah, why? I've got plenty of memory. It works. There's nothing I can't do on this phone. So why do I need a new one? So now I have to get a new one.
It's faster, new features. I mean, you don't need it necessarily if you don't use it but I mean, you use it all the time.
I do. I use it all the time.
That's the thing. Steve Sullivan has given me a lot of good advice over the years. The best advice he gave me was, if it's something you use every day, spend the money on it and get the best thing.
Yeah, that's good advice.
A phone, what do you use more than that? I mean, other than like use your car every day.
House, that's it.
Oh, you don't care about that though. If you're not going to upgrade your car, for God's sakes, get a decent phone, man. Come on, get out of here. Anyway, what the hell segment coming up a little bit later. I don't know if it'll impress Coach Kelly, but I think you guys will be happy with it. We've got a lot of good entertainment stuff today, including some audio. I did not know, Christian, and I was already looking forward to this Wes Anderson movie, and I'm not saying that this influences my interest, although now I'm kind of worried because I'm taking Maddox to it. But apparently there is a brief nude scene involving Scarlett Johansson, which normally I'm all about, but taking my 16-year-old kid, it's going to be that awkward moment.
I mean,
how brief, though? I don't know.
You saw Uncut Gems, and there was a few nude scenes in there.
I don't even remember that. I couldn't get past all the F-bombs. I don't remember any nudity.
You don't think he's seen nudity?
Maddox?
Yeah.
Never.
Huh.
Not once.
No, I'm quite sure.
Those little websites on his phone.
Oh, God, don't even
you
talk
check
about
that?
No, please
You
don't even.
go back and look at his
I
past.
don't want to talk about it.
His history and look at where he's been visiting.
Stop, Wes. I don't want to talk about it.
Maybe you should visit and check that on his phone.
In other news, Stephen Davis will join us at 10:30 today. My baby's an angel, and that's what I'm going to believe until I'm
Maybe
dead.
a third day of getting you
10:30
blush and
today.
turn a little red.
Man, not bad. Good work. Stephen Davis, the voice of the Arkansas Travelers. Dogfight for the Travelers right now, deadlocked at the top of their division, and the first half championship is about to be settled. So they've got a very important few games coming up here. So we'll talk to him about that and get his thoughts on Major League Baseball, too, coming up at the bottom of this hour. Kevin Kelly will be in, thanks to Bowen Heffley Orthopedics. Got Michael Felder coming in to talk a little bit about college football and lots of entertainment, birthdays, and whatever else you guys want to get into. We start, of course, with the World Series. And there were a lot of predictions made yesterday. Christian, what ended up winning out from our listeners as far as predictions on who would come out? For those who missed it, neither game was particularly close. And by particularly, I mean neither game got closer than 5 runs. TCU wins 6-1 over Oral Roberts, and LSU cruises over Tennessee 5-zip. I definitely did not see that coming. I'm not shocked that LSU won, but I didn't expect them to blank Tennessee.
The pitching performance they got from whatever his name, dude, it was incredible. They would have never dreamed that he would have pitched into the 7th inning. Shutout innings. The guy hasn't started all year. The most he had pitched all season was like 3 1/3 innings. Now, he was a starter in junior college last year, but this year, no starts. And Wes Johnson, gosh, tip your hat to him. He decides to start this guy, and partly because Tennessee has had a lot of issues with left-handed pitchers this year, and so they start the lefty. Then they bring in another big lefty out of the bullpen. They go 2 lefties, 9 shutout innings from 2 guys. It saved them. I mean, that was huge yesterday because of what I've said before. Pitching depleted, the bullpen's not real deep. They saved so many arms yesterday by just having 2 guys go. This gives them a chance now against Wake Forest, not only for today, if they happen to win today, then you got to wonder, when do they fire that bullet called Paul Skeens?
Yeah, you would think he's going to pitch the last day for sure, unless they try to use him today. I'm not going to fat shame because it's rude, but I will say that dude was a pretty big guy. And then they brought in a defensive tackle to pitch behind him, and I was like, wow, that's a really big guy. Joe Klein, thank you very much, he said. No, but I was like, whoa, that dude is not running any laps at all.
I kept thinking, okay, it's hot in Omaha. He hasn't pitched this much all year. He's a big dude. He's going to get worn out.
Was it like they threw Bartolo Colon out there or something?
Yes. He done lapped over his belt, that guy. He's a Dunlap guy. I was like, bro. But look, I think that guy wakes up warm, Wes. He's got lots of insulation. He's just fine. I think he's okay.
Man, he was awesome yesterday. He just
got the big flowing hair. I mean, he had the whole thing.
No.
And they play in Baton Rouge. I mean, they're used to it.
They're used to the heat. Yeah, that's a good point. But for them to baffle those Tennessee hits, now it helped that the wind was howling in from center field. It took away a lot of
one home run for sure. Yeah,
definitely one home run from Cruz. He ended up hitting one later in the game when he went down the line and right. But both games, you saw that. It was hard. You had to hit a bunch of singles to score or take advantage of the other team's mistakes. And that's what happened in both games, honestly.
Yeah.
Oral Roberts had some problems finding the strike zone. Then they walk a guy, they balk a guy in, and it's 2-0 because nothing that TCU did really. It's because of
how sloppy was Tennessee too,
taking advantage of mistakes. Yeah, they throw one away that gives LSU a run.
I mean, they had the pass balls. I mean, mishandled balls at second base. I mean, they had a bunch of sloppy plays. It's just like when they were in Fayetteville.
Yeah, LSU scored the first run in the first inning off some legitimate hits, but then Tennessee gave them the rest of their runs until Cruz hit that home run to make it 5-0.
Amazingly, Florida has won both its game by a single run. And Wake Forest has won both its games by a single run, both of them 3-2, actually. And so, Christian, we're going to have a question of the day today on SEC teams, but give me first what we ended up with for predictions yesterday and how close our listeners were and see if they were any better than the guys on the show.
So our question today was, who survives the 2 elimination games at the College World Series on Tuesday? It was LSU and TCU at 58%, LSU and Oral Roberts 20%, 16% went Tennessee and TCU, and then only 6% went Tennessee and Oral Roberts.
Okay.
I'm glad only about 5% were out there with me.
RIP, ORU. We were rooting for them. It just didn't work out.
No.
Turns out TCU's third pitcher was, in fact, as good or better. Oral Roberts did not go very deep with their guy. He was out in the 3rd inning or something.
Yep. Then they went to the bullpen. The bullpen's their strength, and the bullpen's what actually kind of imploded a little bit and gave TCU some extra runs to make it almost, I don't want to say impossible, but it made it a hard hill to climb with the conditions they had yesterday.
Joe Klein is here. Hi, Joseph.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Hey,
good to see you.
How are you?
Good, man.
We're going to get question of the day for today, Christian. See what Joe thinks.
Yeah, I'm going to recap our other question today yesterday as well.
Oh, yes.
Have you ever accidentally sent someone a message that had actual ramifications involved?
Like you meant to send it to Dana, but you sent it to somebody else.
Like something risque, maybe?
Or something offensive, like you said, this SOB such and such, but you actually sent it to the SOB?
Nothing that I can. I'm sure I have.
Believe
but
me,
I can't remember.
If it was bad enough, you would not forget
That's
it.
what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like if it was really bad, I'd remember it. So I'm sure I've done it, but it probably wasn't.
I told the story yesterday of a guy I used to work with that absolutely destroyed the boss. Hey, he was so mad at him and like dog cussed him and said, he's this and he's that and this, that, and the other. And he accidentally sent it to the boss.
There we go.
Whoops. He didn't make it much longer than that.
Was he there the next day?
Yeah, he was. He was only there for like another week. Didn't go well. There was an HR visit and then he was quickly out the door. Christian, what do you got?
Yeah, did I say the results on that one?
Nope. Sorry.
Okay.
I
It was
interrupted.
58% no on that.
Okay, well that's good.
And our question of the day today is how many teams make it to the
How many SEC teams make it to the championship series?
Okay.
So you got LSU on one side and Florida on the other. So it's either going to be 0, 1, or 2.
Okay.
I love Florida.
Yeah, I love Florida.
Yeah, you got to love
I think
Florida.
they're in the driver's seat. It's going to be tough for TCU to beat them twice.
Right.
It's possible, but I give Florida the odds. I think the history shows that 76% of the teams that are 2-0 at the College World Series move on to the finals. And so Wake Forest at 2-0 would have the advantage over LSU. I think the easy answer is 1.
By the way, TCU has not scored more than 6 runs. They had the offensive explosion against Arkansas, and then they have not scored more than 6 runs in the World Series.
Does your bracket show the most scored? I mean, there hasn't been a whole lot of runs scored in any of the games. I wonder if anybody.
I don't think anybody's
has
scored
hit
more than
double
6.
digits.
No, nobody's had more than 6, I don't think, Wes.
Are the measurements of that park
It's a big park.
a little bigger than?
Well, I'd say a little bigger than most parks, most college parks. But then you throw in the conditions. The wind yesterday, the last couple of days, has been blowing straight in from center field,
Okay.
and it is. I would say almost impossible to hit a home run to center field. Yesterday, Dylan Cruz, LSU's stud that's going to be picked number 1 or number 2 in the draft, hit a bomb to center field, and the guy ran back and caught it right at the warning track.
There's literally, not 6 runs, the most runs scored in any game so far.
I think it was Friday and Saturday, the early games. There were a couple games played where the wind was blowing out a little bit, and so there have been some home runs. But this is traditionally a park where it's been tough to hit home runs. But you throw in the wind right now, and you got to hit it right down the left field line, or you got to hit it down the right field line. If you go gap to center field, it's not happening. I mean, you have to hit a 475 foot home run that goes 420, 375, 390 to get out. It's tough. And then, guys, we all play golf. You know what it's like standing on the tee box with the wind blowing in right at you.
Yep.
It affects you as a golfer. It affects your swing. And I think it's doing the same thing to the batters. You get off your game and you look, Wake Forest, LSU, Tennessee were all in the top, and not TCU, but all those 3 teams were in the top 15 in home runs hit this year. So they scored a lot off of home runs. So to me, it's even more impressive that these teams are still finding a way to win, even though the conditions are tough, not conducive to hit home runs.
Okay, let me get Jim in here real quick, and then we'll talk to Joe. NBA draft tomorrow night. I'm sure Joe has thoughts. Anthony Black was on the Morning Mayhem show this morning, and if you missed that, you can catch that in our podcast sites. And I was out running around and catch that. Yes, sir.
Shameless plug. We did the NBA draft special on Double Tech yesterday, and if you want to check those out, you can check them out anywhere you find your podcast.
There you go.
I went over my own mock draft, top
And
30.
Do you have him going to Washington
I have
or
Anthony Black
sneaking into
going
Houston?
To Washington. I don't think he'll end up going to Houston. He could go to Orlando at 6, though.
There was a report last night, at least it was on Twitter, that there's a team looking to trade up to get Anthony Black because they are afraid that he will go at 8 or 7 or at 8. So they were looking at trading up to 7 to take him, and then they said that there was also a possibility of trading up to 5 to take him.
I think 8 and Washington's the number.
The ticket.
I think that's.
But we don't want that.
By the way,
no, I don't want that for him. No, I don't.
Utah.
It was Utah.
Utah makes a lot of sense.
at Oaklawn, right up on there. At Oaklawn, it's 8.5 over under. Or maybe not at Oaklawn, but I saw it online somewhere.
Okay.
Maybe it wasn't Oaklawn.
I would be surprised if he gets by Washington.
Yeah.
It goes past 8. So if you can get it at Oaklawn.
Oakland doesn't do that, do they?
I don't know
I
if they
think it's
do.
only competitions.
Yes, you're right.
I'd probably put it like 7.5.
Yeah, I would too.
Sorry, anytime I think gambling, that's the first thing I think of. But you're right. I think you're right.
I've seen some different websites, that across the country that do this.
So you take the under. is what
If
you're
it's
telling me.
8.5,
Yeah.
honestly, I think that's easy money.
Okay.
I don't see any way he slips past 8. And Christian, you're a better expert on this than me, but everything I've read and seen, I have not seen one mock now in the last week that's past 8.
Once the Wizards traded Bill, it came out that they're like locked in on Anthony Black at 8. So
Okay. Yeah, you're right. It was not there. I'm sorry. Let me get Jim in here real quick. Hey, Jim.
Hey, real quick, definitely want LSU to go home today. And then the 2 guys transfers that we got on the baseball team from Kansas. Do y'all know anything about them? And that's all I got. Go home.
I know the kid yesterday is a left-handed pitcher.
Yep. He's a bullpen guy. He led Kansas in saves last season. Well, I think it was 3, but probably not many opportunities to get saves at Kansas. But the impressive thing to me, they're not very good. The impressive thing to me is you can't get a save in a loss.
Yeah.
You have to win the game to get a save. The impressive thing to me, I think it was 43 innings pitched, 43 and a third. He had 43 strikeouts and only
42 and a third and 42.
42,
But yeah,
42.
that's
and
good.
how many walks? It's like
13.
That's a great walk to strikeout ratio. ERA wasn't great, but he's a left-handed guy, and you can't have enough left-handed pitchers coming out of the bullpen with as much experience as he has. So it's just at worst, he provides you depth. At best, he's a guy that comes in and he's a left-handed bullpen arm that can help you out.
Stephen Davis is going to join us in a few minutes. He does Kansas women's basketball. I bet he's got some familiarity with their baseball team, too, so maybe he knows a little bit more about Stone Hewlett. Cool name. 25 and 32 last year. You're right, Wes. They're not good. 8 and 16 last season.
25 wins, so, if you get 3 saves, is that what it was? 3 or 4 saves? That's one of their guys that they trusted in crucial situations. The first baseman that came from Kansas, he actually went to Tarleton State last year. He went to Kansas for 3 years, then transferred. Injuries kind of deterred his career there at Kansas. He got healthy and had a really good year at Tarleton State. So he comes to Arkansas as a first baseman, maybe a third baseman, but a guy that will compete. The guy I'm excited about is the center fielder out of Missouri. And he committed over the weekend. He walked on out of Springfield. His dad and mom played at Missouri, so it was kind of a legacy deal. He went and he earned a scholarship, or at least some scholarship money from Missouri. Last year was as, I guess, a junior or maybe a COVID scene, whatever. He hit over 300, had 21 stolen bases. He's been their center fielder the last couple of years, and I saw in an interview online, he said, basically, this is it for him, and he wants to win. He wants to go somewhere that they can win. He loves Missouri. He loved what happened at Missouri, but he even said until Missouri puts some emphasis on their or their baseball program, financial emphasis, they're going to struggle. And he wanted to go somewhere his last year. And Dylan Leach, remember the catcher at Arkansas that went to Missouri? We thought maybe disgruntled because of the lack of playing time. He talked to Dylan about coming to Arkansas, and Dylan had nothing but positive things to say about the program, the fan base, and what it's like to play at Arkansas.
LSU is probably not going to win the College World Series this year, but they certainly have a chance. They're still alive, but their fans have broken a record for Jell-O shots. I think they're over 22,000 now. 21,000 set the mark. Kevin Coljet, who joined us last year, we were up in Omaha, which was great. Said he started making them in school colors back in 2016. So now they order them. You remember him telling that story last year. They can't keep up with the demand, but they are absolutely blowing the competition away. I think next best is maybe 6,000 from Wake Forest. Very disappointed in Virginia and Tennessee performance. Did not see much from them. I would have figured a couple Southern schools would have performed a
I
little
thought
bit better.
Tennessee would do a lot better.
Virginia might be having a Pinot.
Think so? Are they fancy?
A little bit.
Huh.
Got a little. What do they call where all their seniors live there in Virginia? It's like a square in the middle of campus. It's a
quad.
It's got another name.
A fancy enclave for the athletes.
The fancy quad.
Gotcha.
I wonder, those numbers that you just gave us, was that before last night's game and the celebration after the game?
LSU's well over 22,000. They may be over 23,000 by today. Who knows? I'm sure they're. You think Cajun's afraid to eat Jell-O shots for breakfast? I don't think so.
No.
Yeah. 10:27. Stephen Davis from the Travels will join us on the other side. 10:31. I got a note here from someone who pays attention to these types of things. Says the I'm going to say it nicely. The folks from Tennessee Twitter thought the Jello shot thing was a racket and somehow did not understand how a portion of the proceeds went to charities and at the school as well as at Omaha, and thought it was a local scam, like idiots. So I try not to bash Tennessee too vehemently since our CEO is a Tennessee fan, but anyway.
It was so smart of those guys at Rocco's to.
They're making a pretty profit
Oh,
too.
no doubt. But to attach a charity to it,
yeah,
it kind of, even us last year. I remember you and I was the same way.
Yeah,
back off a little bit and go. This now they're getting the true meaning of this and and trying to help others out.
Yeah, I mean that's the only reason I did any shots while I was there, just for the charity angle, not because I wanted one. Ridiculous. Stephen Davis and the Travs may be doing shots soon if they can claim the first half division crown, and it's getting down to the nitty gritty. I think he's here to fill us in on that. Stephen, welcome. How are you?
I'm doing well. Watching it rain here in Wichita today. You didn't buy shots and give them to other people. Like I feel like that's like rule number one with a shot. You get one and you give one away, right?
Well, that's true. And I bought 4, and I did give a couple away. So
okay.
Yeah, had a couple.
You're a very nice guy, very friendly guy. I figured you were making friends by handing out shots.
I don't like to buy my friends, Stephen. But I give them to people that I'm acquainted with for sure. Absolutely.
There we go.
I wish we were there now, but we're not. It's okay.
If you
don't buy your friends,
I mean,
save a lot of money then, don't you?
If you were to pass out those shots to some clients,
go ahead.
You could write that off, right?
Yeah, sure.
You could write it off twice. Write it off as a business expense, and then write it off as going to charity.
Wes.
I didn't have any. We didn't have any clients there, unfortunately.
Yeah,
I guess everybody's a potential client.
Client.
Yeah.
Look for the audit at the station.
Steve,
coming soon.
Yeah, I'm sure Terry would be like, "Oh yeah, that sounds reasonable." Hey, Stephen, before we dive into the Travs and their situation in the division race, do you know anything about Kansas baseball? I know you do women's basketball and some other things up there. Do you follow their baseball program at all?
Yeah, did a few of their baseball games this season before I came down for the Travs. It's kind of a restart up there right now with a new coach taking over this past season. So
tell me about
they're getting restarted.
Tell me about Stone Hewlett.
Stone Hewlett, he's a lefty from the Kansas City area. I'm sure he's a guy that Arkansas was on initially when he was coming out of high school, kind of the same deal as Tavian Josenberger, a Kansas City area kid that went to KU out of high school, and he's got a really good breaking ball. And when he commands it, was one of their best relievers this year, and I'm excited for him to get a fresh start and come down to Fayetteville and see how things go there. I think that's a good pickup. He'll be a nice addition to what I assume will be the Razorback bullpen. I don't think he'll be a starter. He's never really started in his college career, but he'll be a nice pickup, a nice lefty to have out of the bullpen. Really tough at bat for a left-handed hitter.
What about Jack Wagner? He played a little first base for him. He transferred last year and went to Tarleton State, but do you remember him from years past?
Yeah, Jack Wagner was a corner outfield type guy, did play a little first base. He's got the potential to be a power bat. It was just a matter of putting it all together. And the move to Tarleton seemed to be a good fit for him. He wasn't getting the time he wanted at Kansas in the Big 12. So one of those guys with a lot of potential, right-handed power hitter there in a corner position, whether it be first base or outfield.
All right, well, let's talk about Travs baseball. Stephen Davis, the voice of the Travs, joining us, and they are on the road this week. How many games do you have left in the first half?
We have 5 games left in the first half, every day through Sunday, and then it comes to I guess call it a screeching halt on Sunday, and then we keep playing with the second half next week. But yeah, first half runs out on Sunday with 5 more games.
So you're deadlocked with Tulsa at 40-24, and the only problem is that Tulsa is playing the worst team in the division. No disrespect, but the Naturals are having a rough run of it. So you're hoping for a little help from Northwest while you're trying to get things done over in rainy Wichita.
Yeah, that's pretty good summation of it right now. You know, going into last week, the Travs needed to make some hay at home, having Corpus Christi at home, and did. They won the series 4-2. Tulsa was in Springfield, which was their toughest series of the 2 left on paper, and they split the 6 games they played in Springfield. Springfield had a chance to win a couple more, couldn't help the Travs out, but still, Travs picked up a game last week, got it into a tie. Last night, both teams lose. Travs just flat out didn't play well last night, got in a big hole early. Ended up losing 12-4 here in Wichita, but Tulsa lost as well at home to, as you mentioned, the worst team in the league record-wise, Northwest Arkansas. who has a little bit of a new roster. The Royals made a bunch of moves in their system yesterday, so some new arms have arrived there with the Naturals, and one of them threw out of the bullpen last night and pitched well. Naturals won 6-2, so the Travs did get some help. So it's really fascinating when you get down to it here, because you can watch a playoff race, even in the big leagues, but especially in the minor leagues, until you really get to that last couple weeks, and really the last week even, you really don't know what you've got, and it's just kind of luck of the draw with the schedule. So here we are, Travs on the road in a ballpark where they've really struggled over the course of 3 seasons. And I know it's minor league baseball and the rosters change all the time, but this has not been a ballpark that has been kind to the Travs. Their split earlier this year here in Wichita, they split a 6-game series, 3-3, was the first time in 4 tries that they had not lost a series here in Wichita. So they have never won a series in this ballpark, and you're thinking you probably got to win a series this week. So tough place for the Travs to come against a team that's playing well and is confident right now. Wichita's won 6 out of 8. So it's going to be a fun test for the Travs this week to see if they can get back on the winning track now after losing last night, and make a push here to try to overtake Tulsa in the division.
Organizations are different as far as their emphasis on minor leagues. What kind of emphasis do the Mariners put on winning, and how important is it for them to win this week?
It's huge. I talked to manager Mike Freeman last night on the pregame show, and every organization will tell you this, but I've experienced it with the Mariners now for years upon years. They want these guys playing in pennant races. They want them playing meaningful minor league games. And I thought Mike Freeman summed it up really well last night. He basically said it to the effect of, for these guys to develop properly and learn to play winning type baseball, you've got to have them in these type of games on a regular basis. It helps you develop not only a winning mindset, but it helps you learn who you are as a player in ball games like this, and what you can do and what works when a season or a playoff race is on the line in these type of games. So the Mariners want guys in these type of games. They want them winning. They want them getting into the playoffs. That's not something the Travs have been able to do since 2019. Came up just short the last 2 years, but it is really important to the Mariners organization. It's something they emphasize at all levels, that if you can get it done, not just be in a race, but then find a way to win that playoff race and get into the playoffs. So I know the Mariners organization and the folks that run the minor leagues would be thrilled to see the Travs finish it off this week and get a first-half crown and lock up a playoff berth.
Talking to Stephen Davis on the Brandon Moving and Storage Hotline, the voice of the Arkansas Travelers, Justin Moore, country music superstar, more importantly, co-host of Morning Mayhem, asked me about Isaiah Campbell, and I was curious about how things are coming along with him. We want to try to get him up here in the next couple of weeks, too, if you can.
Yeah, let's do that.
How's he coming along?
He's doing well. Isaiah had to throw last night. It had been a week since his last appearance, and you kind of lament that you have to use one of your top-end guys at the back of the bullpen in a game where you're down 8 runs, pitching in the 8th inning on the road, but you can't have a guy sitting more than a week in pro ball without throwing. They were trying to save him for a tight game at the finish, and they hadn't had one of those lately. So got him an inning of work last night. He's thrown it really consistently of late. He's not, it sounds weird to say he's not flashy, but he just goes out and does his thing. He throws strikes. He'll get his share of strikeouts. He doesn't walk guys. Guys have to come at him. And I think a perfect example of it was a couple weeks ago in Tulsa. He came in with a big lead late in the game on a Sunday. I think it was 7-1. They bring him in to close out the ball game. And you think, okay, this thing's over. Well, because Isaiah throws so many strikes, sometimes the hitters will get after him. And the first 3 guys got on. The third one hit a 3-run homer. All of a sudden, it's 7-4, and you start wondering, well, does Isaiah have it today? Well, is this just a blip in the radar, or is this for real today? He immediately takes care of the next 3 guys on like 8 pitches with a strikeout in there.
Nice.
So he can turn it on when he needed to there. When he got challenged, he turned it up. That's the only time he's allowed an earned run since May 20th, was those 3 runs in Tulsa that day with a big lead. So he's throwing it really well right now. I can't emphasize that enough. You feel really good if you're in the Travs dugout or in the stands watching the game when he comes in, that you're going to get a scoreless inning out of him. He's been really consistent, and I think he's either option A or option B to come in late in the ball game and close it out, depending on who's available that day. He's right there at the top end, at the back of the bullpen for the Travs right now, and doing the kinds of things the Mariners want to see him doing.
Stephen, I know some of this is based on need, but who are your leading candidates in your mind to be called up at some point here in the next, I don't know how long, whenever they start doing that, I guess?
Well, they've called up 4 guys straight to the big leagues from us this year, so it's hard to say that they haven't been promoting guys to this point when you've already lost 4 pitchers, including 2 starters, straight to the big leagues from Double-A. In terms of promotions to AAA, and we've already lost one guy to Tacoma this year too. I mean, Campbell would be in the short mix for that. You could run through half the bullpen right now. The Devin Sweets, the Prolander Baroas, guys like that, who have been in AA previously, who are pitched well, who have had success this year. Any of those guys would be on the list. Hitting wise, Robbie Tanarowitz is just tearing it up still at first base. He's 28 years old. But the big thing for all these guys is Tacoma's got a full roster and guys that are playing well up there. And one of the first lessons I learned when I got into minor league baseball was there's a lot of things that have to happen for a guy to get promoted. And maybe number one on the list is there has to be an opportunity at the next level up. So until they create an opportunity, either through someone struggling in Tacoma or Seattle, or an injury for someone in Tacoma or Seattle, or somebody getting released, there's no spot to move those guys right now. So it's something now with the draft being later, and this is something, we talked about how it affects college baseball, with the draft being so much later in the summer and how those guys have to adjust. It affects minor league baseball too. It used to be you'd get these midseason promotions about now because guys were getting drafted and new guys were coming into the system already. Well, those guys don't get into the system now until August. So a lot of times there isn't a need to push guys from the bottom with new guys filtering into the organization until August. So sometimes the last couple of years we've seen it where a lot of times those promotions you think you're going to get at late June, early July don't come until August now. So the new guys get into the system out of the draft. But short list, I would think a lot of guys in the bullpen would be on there. And obviously Tanarowitz with the way he's hitting, I wouldn't expect. If he's here all year, great. We love Robbie. We love Bird. He's a fantastic fan favorite who's carrying this lineup right now. But any of those guys, if they get called up, wouldn't surprise me a bit.
Talking to Stephen Davis, again, voice the Travs on the Brandon Moving and Storage Hotline. Travs on the road in Wichita, trying to close out the first half, get a few days off, and Wednesday start back at home. Springfield coming in here, and that will go through July 3rd. No Monday off day coming up in that first part of the second half of the season.
No, but we get 2 off days next week. We get Monday and Tuesday off this coming week. So you trade 1, take 2, somewhere, whatever. We go with whatever the schedule says. But it'll be a big weekend coming up at Dickey Stevens next weekend. Holiday weekend, obviously, 3 fireworks shows. I know you guys will be out there for at least one of them. Wes, you got to bring the family out. I don't think you brought the whole family out to a game yet this year.
I have not. I have personally come, but not with the entire family.
Yep.
That's
bring wife, kids,
What nights are we doing?
Your kids are older.
What nights are you doing fireworks, Stephen, next week?
We got fireworks next Friday. I believe that's the 30th.
30th, yeah.
And then Sunday the 2nd is a night game. And then Monday the 3rd will be the big holiday fireworks show for the Travs. So
perfect.
3 fireworks shows and 4 nights next weekend at Dickey Stevens.
Be there with bells on. Can't wait. That'll be great. We are working the 3rd. We are not working the 4th. So we will be doing baseball the 3rd. That sounds perfect.
What a
there
plan.
You go. Come out early, stay late. You got to know where to be the next morning.
We talked about guys leaving. Is there anybody you got your eye on that may come up, be brought up, a future star?
Yeah, we got a couple of them already. I don't think we've really talked about Jonathan Clase yet this year. He's been with the Travs about a month and a half now, and he's one of those guys that's just so explosive. He turned 21 since he joined the Travs.
Wow.
He's the only player in minor league baseball right now with 15-plus homers and 25-plus steals this year. And he's got 16 homers and 41 steals, just to fill out the numbers. And it's about an even split between high A and double A for him. He's been outstanding. The batting average is low, but he gets on base. He's able to draw walks even when he's not making contact. Obviously, he makes things happen when he gets on base, and he's got a ton of power. For a guy who just turned 21 and is about 5'10", he's incredibly well put together. He's so exciting to watch. I did not expect him to be this exciting this season. I didn't even necessarily even expect him to get to us this year, and he was here in May. So Jonathan Clase is the top of that list as a guy who will be a current and future star for the Travs in his career. And then for a guy that's still down there in A ball, Alberto Rodriguez, another outfielder, a left-handed hitter, swinging the bat really well. He was repeating at the high A level this year. He's gone out and performed well and done the things they wanted to see from him. I would think once there's an opportunity for a spot up here, again, got to have a place to put him up here. I would think once there's an opportunity, he would be the top of the list of the guys down there in Everett to come up to Arkansas and start swinging it for the Travs.
I wouldn't have done breaking news during Steven's segment here, but Arkansas's foundation, the Razorback Foundation, has just named a new executive director. Ryan White is the new executive director. Stephen Davis, does that ring a bell for you?
Not ahead, should it?
He comes from the University of Kansas. That's the only reason I brought this up right now while you're on with us. So
There we go.
yeah. So there you go. We'll get to know him in the not too distant future. I'm quite sure. Didn't know if you had any background on him, but there you go.
No, not off the top of my head.
I guess we're not hitting you up for donations right now.
No, I'm not in that tax bracket. I'm several notches down from there. Baseball players, I can tell you about them, but no, financial guys who are wanting money from me, they're not coming and talking to me.
Gotcha. I understand. Well, you're doing a great job, man. Keep it up. Bring back a winner. We'll see you over at Dickie Stevens next week.
Sounds good, fellas. We'll see you then.
All right, Stephen.
Later.
Thank you. Stephen Davis, the voice of the Travs. Joe Klein is here, the voice of Corky's.
Yes.
Yes.
And the Kansas City Royals.
You really want to be
who are cemented
in the basement
as the worst team in baseball.
The Central in both divisions is terrible,
But
and
what
the AL may be worse than the NL.
I'm sorry.
The AL Central.
The NL Central is a phenomenal competitive division.
It's very competitive, but it's because they're
Just because the
all-
Cardinals suck doesn't mean everybody else is terrible.
It's very competitive. It's because they're all not great.
I think everybody but maybe are the Reds above 500 yet? I
The
think
Reds
they
are leading the division.
They're on a 10-game win streak. And Pittsburgh's lost a bunch of games in a row, like I don't know, 8 in a row. They
Yeah.
lost the Cubs again yesterday, but they're still like 4 games ahead of the Cardinals. That's how bad it's been for St. Louis. And I don't revel in that, as far as you
Promotion
know.
at Corky's for wins, the Royals wins this year. Saying 50. Free chicken sandwiches for everybody.
I love that.
Forever.
Okay.
If they get 50 wins.
Okay.
You like that?
Now, did you run that by Tommy or?
Tommy would have a stroke.
Yeah, I hope they
My
don't
other
catch fire.
partners would too. But no, it's bird is the word today. $1 off all chicken sandwiches. A chicken fried steak after 4, dine in only, and come see us in Little Rock, North Little Rock.
What time do you close?
8 o'clock.
The sun doesn't go down until 8:25, Joe. It's a summer solstice. Should have done a summer solstice special. Not that a lot of
Well,
people are rolling in for dinner at 8 o'clock, but
Right. You know, if you're in the building, we'll keep it open till you leave.
the bar.
Yeah. Especially if I'm in there.
Perfect. Love it. I don't come in now that you got rid of liquor. There's no point in it. I'm just
It's
kidding.
coming. It's gonna make a comeback.
I'll drink beers with you.
It's
It's okay.
coming back. You can bring in your brown bag like you do everywhere else.
Oh, that's. I'm not gonna make the joke. Anyway, go ahead, Wes.
Deal Team 6 is back at Guatney Chevrolet, and they are armed with a lot of rebates, discounts, and finance offers on new models in stock. Up to $7,500 off Silverados in stock with a 2009 or newer trade-in. Get $2,000 off in stock 2023 Equinox. You got great rates going on at Guatney Chevrolet. Go to the website, GuatneyChevrolet.com. Take a look at all the deals. Take a look at all the inventory. Find what you want. Then go to the Gregory Street exit in Jacksonville. Drove by there yesterday and saw an impressive lot full of cars, new and used vehicles. 5.9% financing for 72 months on Silverados when financing with General Motors. And if you're a well-qualified buyer, head on out. See what they'll give you for your vehicle, trade it in, pay off your note, have a little extra cash in your pocket. Let's go do some dealing with Guatney Chevrolet.
All right, Lee is very upset about something that happened in the Rangers game last night, Wes. I did not see it, but I did see that the manager got ejected. And he sent it 25 times, so Lee must be very bent out of shape about it, or maybe just accidentally hit send too many times. Wes, what the F-bomb was that home plate umpire doing last night in the Rangers call? What is the catcher supposed to do? That is how you're taught since blocking the plate is illegal now. Catcher was in perfect position. Bruce Bochy and Tony La Russa would be an amazing foot race, by the way. Justin, you buy the plane ticket to London for this weekend, Cubs cards, I'll buy you frosty beer and game tickets. Yeah, I'll get right on that, Lee. But I'd love to. If you go on your own, you may bump into Trey Shapp of our staff, who's going to be over there for the Cubs-Cardinals game.
That's awesome.
Trey, nobody travels better than Trey. He knows how it's done.
No, but that would be a great experience.
Would be. Good day, mate.
I saw the setup at the stadium yesterday. It was pretty cool.
Well, that's Australia. Sorry.
Wembley?
Sounds right.
They're playing in London?
Yes. If I was going to go to London, it wouldn't be for a Cubs game. But
really?
I know. I just wouldn't.
It's a great excuse.
You can do that in America, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't watch the Cubs play in London in America.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I can't argue with that the logic, actually. He's 100%
Hey,
correct.
that's a fact.
That is a fact.
That's not
an
debatable.
opinion.
No, there's no debate there. My dad,
and I have no idea what happened in the Rangers game last night.
there was apparently
They
a
were
questionable call at
talking
home.
about it on First Take.
I didn't see it.
They're saying, showing something. There
If
was
they're talking about baseball on First Take,
yeah,
it must
it was
be
a play at
important.
the plate, and they were all screaming at the TV.
All I know is the manager got ejected, and it's not the Cubs, so I don't care. And Texas is still in first, so you're fine. I got a note here, too, that says, we were talking about spending money on stuff, and it says, my dad always said, don't go cheap on your mattress because it's something you'll use for 8 hours basically every day. And if you don't sleep good, you don't do anything good. You know, Rob, your dad's a smart man.
It's a great point.
You're trying to buy a mattress?
No, but Wes needs to buy a new phone, and he's a cheapskate because he keeps taking Allison's hand-me-downs because that's what he does because he cares about his family more than himself. I don't understand the concept, but that's what he's about. Anyway, you know, he's got a car that's 25 years old-ish.
17
years old. He doesn't care. He cares about making sure his wife and kids have what they need. He's the most giving man I know. Anyway,
selfless.
That's the word I'm looking for.
Happy life.
Yeah.
I got a happy wife. I'm sorry, a happy life.
Yeah. And you have a
Both?
happy wife.
Both.
Yeah, both. Lucky. I'm a lucky man.
I don't remember the saying about deny yourself everything so your wife can be happy. It doesn't rhyme anyway.
And
but
how are you doing?
Great point, Joe Klein. Thank you very much.
Sorry.
I think I'm starting to see the light, Joe.
That was too easy.
Am I rubbing off a little?
I didn't mean to do that. I'm gonna come home and if Dana's listening. She's going, that was so mean.
I believe it was the man in the barber shop that said blank you, and blank you. Christian, nothing against you. But
Christian
that's
laughed.
just what
he
he
laughed.
said.
He laughed.
Yeah, I had a comment. Sorry. That's funny. Rebecca, what's up?
Good morning, gentlemen. It should be happy spouse, happy house, but that's not why I called.
There you go.
Just Kansas City's not the worst team in baseball. We're the second worst team. We don't have the worst record.
Let's go A's.
Oh, okay.
That's right. Oakland's got the worst.
They're not trying to move Kansas
So
City
we have
to
that going for us.
Schenectady or anything.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, and hey, I'm right there with you. I'm a Royals fan. I would love to see them do better than what they're doing, but it is what it is. I was taught, I told y'all before, my mama taught me you had to take the bad years along with the good years.
That's true.
Well, I'm ready.
Marriage,
I mean,
marriage and Royals
look
baseball.
at how long the Chiefs. Look at how long it was before we got the Chiefs going.
But the Chiefs had a pulse. These guys don't even have a pulse.
Yeah.
We will give it time. It would help if our owner was more concerned about putting winning talent on the field instead of moving the stadium downtown.
Yeah.
Like he's more interested in moving the
That
stadium.
would be smart, though.
Can he make more money that way?
I don't think so.
Oh,
I think you get more casual fans if you move it, but can you put the fountains back in downtown? That's what I want to know. That's key.
Not really. And where will the tailgaters go? We have a bunch of tailgaters.
Oh, there's plenty of room over there, Rebecca. You stick it over in the Power and Light District. There's lots of room.
No, it's just most of the people that go to those games live near that stadium. They're not going to want to go downtown.
They live northeast of town. That's where most people are.
Most of the people that go to those games live in the suburbs, like Independence, Lee Summit, Raytown,
Yeah.
right near where the stadium is.
I think
It's
the
easy
argument would be
access
how many people are going to the games.
Yeah. No, I mean,
More than
because
Oakland.
there's not winning, because the owner will not spend money
Okay.
to get talent. we're the farm team of Major League Baseball.
Rebecca, we got to run. I appreciate your angst. Thank you
Y'all
very
have
much.
a good day. Bye.
You too, dear. Thank you. Happy spouse. What'd she say?
Happy Royals.
Happy
fan.
Happy house.
Happy spouse. Happy Royals fan.
Today is officially the first day of summer. We began summer officially.
Only thing I hate about the summer, people walking around with tans.
Get a nice tan.
Get a little tan.
At the beach with the oil on.
Top priority of the summer.
The summer solstice, when the Earth's axis has the northern hemisphere tilted the most towards the sun.
You need sunblock down here. I recommend a sunscreen with an SPF of between 15 and 30.
I could say at one point I was tanorexic.
On the official start of summer, experts stress that an ounce of caution may be the best protection for a healthy beach season.
All right, welcome back on the solstice. Here we are. It's 11:07. Kevin Kelly is here. Joe Klein is here. Wes Moore is here. Christian Weaver's here. And I am here. Thank God COVID's over. We could never pull this off if that weren't the case. Good to see you, gentlemen. Let's bring Coach Kelly in officially, and then we'll do a little bit of our text line, and then we'll get to the red-white report. That's what we're going to do. That's the plan. That's the schedule. Can we pull it off? Can we execute it? How long can I fill till I find Coach Kelly's open? I don't know. Maybe
Joe
just a
can
little bit
whistle it.
longer. Joe, go ahead.
Pressure the whistle.
on the spot.
He led the Pulaski Academy Bruins to 9 state championships in his time there. Bill Belichick described him as probably the best high school coach in the country. His unique strategies garnered attention nationwide. The Zone welcomes Kevin Kelly into the show. Brought to you by Bowen Heffley Orthopedics. The best surgeons, the best treatment, all focused on you.
Hi, Coach. Great to see you. How are you?
Doing great.
Excellent. Excellent. Happy summer solstice. And I would like to personally thank you for calling me a fatty a few weeks ago and let you know that you've been my motivation. And I wanted to let you know that I'm flirting with the 100s. I mean, under 200 at least. 199. So just right there on the cusp right now. So 7 pounds later.
Is that where you want to get?
No, I want to get down to under 190.
You're not making it.
He kind of said that like, that's all.
That's great.
That's
I see
all
what
we're
you
gonna
did
do.
See what you did there. So such a good motivator. I'm so dumb I didn't even pick up. I'm like, yeah, I will. That's the point. But in fact, I actually got a challenge from a friend of ours. We'll call her Dee Dee from Avabella Day Spa to protect her anonymity. We're going to do a little weight loss challenge with a bottle of Camus on the line. So
nice.
Yeah, that's right, buddy. And I'm going to let you have a glass if I win. So I need you to keep motivating me.
I'll help you.
I think I can gain weight and lose weight faster than anybody.
Yeah.
Like, say, gain 10 pounds a race, I'll get it. I'll win.
Okay.
Lose 10 pounds a race, I'll win.
What's Camus?
I'd maybe bet you on that. Because a big weekend, I gained right around 8 pounds.
Yeah.
It's not a
And then
competition, guys.
I can quit drinking for the week, and I'll lose it just like that.
I can gain 2 in 2 days.
Yeah, the one advantage you do not have is you can't quit
Yeah.
drinking alcohol, Coach Kelly. That's your problem.
Well, you can't
Actually,
either.
that's not a problem.
You can't either.
Oh! Yep. That's good. That's good. Wes, I'm waiting for your wisecrack, smarty pants. That's good. That's good. Yeah.
I heard him on the way up. It was
I know.
too-
I'm teeing it up for you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I have actually quite a bit. Last Friday night went notwithstanding. I've been doing great. Real good. Look at me. But anyway, thanks again for the motivation.
We're here. We're here for you.
All
if you
right,
need us.
calm down.
We're here for you if you need us.
Yeah, thank you very much. Not
I
there's
really
always
don't-
AA.
I bet you drink tonight.
Yeah, for sure.
You need stuff. You need an alternate route. Like honestly, when I had kids that didn't want to drink in high school, and they're not supposed to, but
Right.
kids do.
That's legal
And
for me.
I had some that and I told them they know my phone's on all the time. I'd have kids call me at 1:00 in the morning and say, "Coach, I'm pretending like I got a phone call so I can get away from it, so I won't be bothered to drink." I'm
That's
like,
good.
all right, just talk to me as long as you want to. Stay on 15 minutes and go back, be good to go. So I thought it was pretty cool.
I was at a party in high school where there was drinking going on. I was not involved in it in this particular case, and we got in trouble because we were at the party. We still got in trouble we got like in-school suspension for a couple days. It was like, what gives? I did the right thing. What's your problem? But I guess they just didn't believe us. That's fine.
That's probably they didn't believe
You get in-school suspension for something that you did outside of school?
Oh, yeah. Just think of the days. We've talked this before. Think about the days before social media. Like, if I was on social media in high school, there's no telling how many kids would have gotten expelled.
Right.
Probably same for you.
But yeah, the answer to your question is if they're involved in anything else, it's an easy decision to do that, Christian. Because whether you're in arts or you're in a band or you're in athletics, you're representing your school outside, inside, and
Yeah,
everything, and they have rules for that.
Yeah,
Just like the University of Arkansas,
Right.
can you get on or Alabama? Can they get on Brandon Miller? He did something outside that. Well, I mean, they didn't, but they can.
Yeah.
because
Well,
you're representing. The
I just
university.
like I would understand if you were doing something criminal yourself, getting
He
suspended.
was involved kind of on the
He didn't
periphery
get
of
no
an
criminal
event.
charges.
No, I know, but he was still had a role.
No, I know, but and they should have done something. I mean, I would have.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know,
And so would Nick Saban.
Right.
But obviously not Nate Oates. Wes, what do you got on the first Arkansas Bank and Trust text line?
You want to do Big O?
Yeah, I didn't
Red
want to
White?
get to it, but
Okay.
I thought we'd do this first. Whatever you want to do, I don't care. Okay.
The Red
You know
White
what?
Report
Fine.
is brought to you by
I have no
Big O
control
Tires, with locations
Not
in
that I ever did.
Conway on Harkrider and in Cabot on Prospect Court. Big O Tires offers an endless selection of wheel and tire combinations. Big O Tires, they have everything you need to fit your budget and style.
Maybe I'll set the rest of the show out. Wes, Arkansas signed a pitcher for softball and a pitcher for baseball yesterday. And if you know something else that we need to talk about, feel free. Let me tell you about Reese Burline. She is a Mississippi State pitcher, used to be. Now she's with the Razorbacks. She pitched 26 appearances. That's a team high. Second in ERA, 3.13. 76 innings. And allowed opponents to hit 269. She struck out 69. Bad. So anyway, she joins Southern Miss transfer Morgan Linestock. And, of course, other players coming in. Nia Carter from Iowa, who had a great year last year. And a utility player. What's her name, Wes? The bomber? Bree Ellis, what's her nickname?
Bria the Bomber.
Bria the Bomber. Bree the Bomber?
Bree Bombs.
Bree Bomb.
Bree Bombs.
Sounds weird. Anyway, what do you know about this pitcher for the baseball team? Stone Hewlett. What a cool name.
Hewlett, last year, 42 innings pitched, 42 strikeouts, 13 walks, led the team in saves, lefty out of the bullpen. He'll provide a little depth for the Razorbacks out of that bullpen. And today, some breaking news we had earlier. The Razorback Foundation Board of Directors announced Ryan White. He is the new Razorback Foundation Executive Director. He was led a nationwide search and comes to Arkansas from the University of Kansas.
And Stephen Davis did not know him, but he shouldn't because, well, that guy doesn't care about the play-by-play guy because he's not giving any money anyway. All right, there you go. That's that. What do you got for First Arkansas Bank and Trust text line?
All right,
or
I'll
the
start
artist formerly
from,
known as. By the way, our text line is up for
sales
sponsorship if you're interested. Sales at 1037thebuzz.com.
It is a good one to represent because we talk about it all the time.
Yeah, only like 7 times a show. No big deal.
Ethan in Atkins was the first to respond to us. He said, "Oh, Wes's phone is going out. Does that mean he'll pay attention today?"
No, he's got his
No, he
computer.
still has a laptop. Yeah.
Exactly. Don't be ridiculous.
This one from the 870. You guys are hilarious. Wes is actually going to have to pay attention today with his phone on the fritz. Click to view image. That is, oh, this is a good one. This is a picture a daughter sent to her dad, but she thought she was sending it to her husband.
Oops.
Says, waiting for you,
Oh.
waiting for a pounding when you get home, Daddy.
Oh.
And dad, real dad, says, seriously? Again? And she says, shoot. Sorry, Dad. And then dad replies in all caps, change his name in your phone.
That is weird. Okay.
Yesterday's question of the day: have you ever
How's
sent
the-
a text
how's the
that
picture, Wes?
you didn't? You sent a text to somebody that you meant to send it to somebody else with some kind of serious ramifications, something similar to this, an embarrassing moment.
Very, very.
Anything like that.
Well, not that bad, not that bad. But I was trying to get my daughter was dating a really good kid, and I liked the kid a lot. But I knew she was having some some issues, and didn't know if she wanted to stay with him or not. And there's this kid I'm dying for to date. So I'm a good friend of the dad, and I sent him a text, and didn't know I actually put her on there. And I
Oops.
said, "Hey, man, she's about to break up with this. I hope she breaks up with this guy because I'd love her to date your son." Da 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 da. And she was on the text. You talk about feeling like an idiot real fast. Because, and he's the one that found it. He texts me back. He's like, Kara was on this text. I'm like, oh, man. So I had to go, grovel and apologize, say I'm an idiot and all that kind of stuff.
So what
That's kinda
happened?
embarrassing. Huh?
So what happened?
She did break up with him for a while and then got back together. Well, sort of got back together. You know how that goes when you're
I have no idea. No idea
they're
how that
semi
works.
together. They're together all the time, but they don't say they're together.
Completely
That's
foreign concept.
the
On
20
again,
year-
off again, on
the
again,
20
off again.
The
Never heard of it.
20-year-old relationship is something else.
Here's one from the 501. Sent an unsolicited D pic to a girlfriend that I'd been seeing for a few months. Someone in her family was using her phone at the time.
Oops.
She got ticked off at me and broke up with me that
think?
day.
Yeah, I think you should just never do that.
Do you think
what
anybody
is-
wants to see that?
Yeah,
She
that-
doesn't. Nobody
We
does.
talked about this before.
Yeah.
That's not a good look.
If they could turn the stadium in Omaha a quarter turn, it would totally change how it plays. Hitters would be able to see, the left fielders would be able to see, and we would see more home runs. That's from Hacker and Harrison.
That should be easy to pull off.
Yeah,
Just
pick
Think of
up
an entire
completely
stadium, quarter turn it.
Yeah, reconfigure the stadium.
It's almost like Jerry Jones. Were you not thinking when you built the stadium about the way the sun sets and rises and how it could affect you?
How about you are a billionaire, multi-billionaire? How about you get some screens that work during the sunlight hours where the sun is not glaring in and ruining the TV product?
The Corvette we saw had those little for the sunroof.
Yeah,
remember you can see out, but the sun doesn't really.
The sun
come
can't
in.
see me?
Yes,
That's
And
weird.
How about something like that?
And Jerry thought of most stuff. We went and got their old seats from Cowboy Stadium, so we were in the middle of all this. So I got to go in the stadium myself and do the stuff. And we got to talking to one of the Joneses, and they were like, "The new seats are going to be 2.5 inches wider than these seats because the human
People
butt,
are getting fatter.
The human butt has grown 2.25 inches in the
'Cause they
last 30
don't-
years." I'm like, you can think about that, but you can't think about the sun.
Yeah. They don't have you for motivation. You could have made the seats the same side if you had gotten all the
If I just
Cowboys
said-
fan. Hey, fatties, get it together. We're not moving the seats for you. We're spending our money on some screens. That would have been good.
From the 501,
I only
Emerson.
tell it to people I care about.
What's that?
I only tell people that they're a little hefty to people I care about.
I'm seriously very thankful. I'm not giving you. I'm giving you a hard time, but I am thankful. I appreciate it. The
It's
last
helping.
time this happened, Tommy Smith called me fat. I was 215, and he was right. And then we went on the HCG diet, and I got down to 187. I mean, I'm a mental case, and it will not take much to get me completely off. And then I'm just going to go way overboard. I might show up here 160 one day.
That shirt
Are
makes you
you
look
are
big.
you are you balding? You're getting bald.
All right, Joe, watch it. I will fight
Come
you.
in next week with freaking.
I'm off
hairpiece.
next week. Come on in, Jackwagon.
He'll come back from vacation with,
a
hair
big-
plugs.
with hair plugs and
You look a little different. What happened?
You'll be thin.
I'm wear a hat every day.
You'll be thin and blonde.
Hilarious. Laugh it up, chuckleheads. What else you got?
501, Emerson Hancock is a beast. That's a Travs pitcher when Stephen Davis was on. He should be up there pretty soon with Brian Wu soon. Brian was one of the guys called up to AAA. Steve sent us an image I'm not sure about. David says we should have Jackson Wells on the show. He's an All-American by the NCBWA from the Little Rock Trojans. David, we had him on.
We have had him.
And that was cool.
Yeah, that's really awesome.
Yep. Jick Jack says, Justin West, Big Joe, my grandfather always told me no matter what you have, what you do, you have to stick with your team. I am a lifelong Razorback, Dallas Cowboys, and St. Louis Cardinals fan. Go Hogs, hog freaking wild.
Good man.
Yeah, I agree with that. I've always stuck with my team.
I have too.
That's actually mine too. I was always Dallas Cowboys, St. Louis Cardinals, and then NBA it shifted around. So
Okay.
I was a real fan.
One
But
last.
I like the Cardinals Cowboys combo.
A lot of people are NBA player fans more than team fans.
Yeah.
That's not that uncommon. I would say of all the sports, that's probably the biggest one.
I've grown that way. Like now, all of a sudden, I'm going to be a better Lakers fan, and I don't like the Lakers, but because of meeting Austin Reeves yesterday,
Yeah, it's
I
hard
will
not
be
to
rooting
cheer for that
him.
guy.
Dude,
Hard not to cheer for that.
he's the most. I think I can safely say, other than, I mean, Joe, you're way up there too. No joke. But I mean, he's about the most humble NBA starter I've ever met. That
Joe,
was
humble?
current or former. No, I'm talking about Austin Reeves. But Joe's very humble too. But I mean, Austin Reeves is one of the most impressive young men I've ever met. This guy hasn't changed a lick, it looks like. And I didn't know him when he was younger, but he's got no ego at all. He was completely gracious. In fact, he sat down. I'm like, oh, we need to hit a break. But I was like, well, hold it. He goes, I don't care. I can wait. I was like, I'm not going to have you wait. You got a camp to put on. But he is, I mean, I was blown away. And his brother Spencer's fantastic too. That was impressive, honestly. He's going to be real easy to root for, to your point.
Which is very endearing to everybody, right? I mean, people think you've got to be flamboyant out there and all this to get attention, but there's those people that the fans love them because they're that way.
Right. Well, and the other thing is too, a lot of guys give back in different ways, and there's nothing wrong with that. You want to give back financially, that's fine. You want to, throw some support without coming here, that's fine. But for him to come back, I mean, he could be doing a lot of other things right now. For him to come back with his brother and go around Arkansas to these small towns and do camps is pretty phenomenal.
You think it has something to do with Arkansas, maybe some of the smaller towns? Because you think about it, Isaiah Joe, great kid. Jalen Williams, great kid. Moses Moody, Bobby Portis, Daniel Gafford. The guys in the NBA,
we don't
they
produce a lot
all
of turds.
come back and they give, and do things for. Gafford was just back in El Dorado a couple of weeks ago, put on a little camp, a little game, playing with kids, and I mean, giving stuff away to the high school team. mean, it's pretty cool.
Go
that
back
we
farther.
don't. You're right. We don't have jerks in the NBA.
Go back farther and think of even other sports. Keith Jackson, Torrey Hunter. Look what they've done.
Phenomenal.
Come back. They always come back and give. And
No
Keith
doubt.
Jackson actually went to Oklahoma, but he's from Arkansas. Came back and built Park. And
And I know Malik Monk gets a bad rap because he didn't go to Arkansas, but
That's
the
right.
guy for Thanksgiving every year goes back to Northeast Arkansas, and they have a big turkey giveaway, a Thanksgiving dinner giveaway. He does it every year.
Northeast Arkansas, huh?
Well, that's where he's from.
The first place he turned his back on. Excellent.
Well, he hasn't turned his back. He's still going back there.
Uh-huh.
He just moved away
I'm with you. I think it's
because
cool.
his mom got a job.
Mom got a really good job
At Walmart.
Belleville.
Yeah. Just like he got a really good job over Kentucky for a year. Anyway, that was a bridge too far for me, by the way. You were doing great. Carry on.
Like I said, some people won't like it because he didn't go to Arkansas.
Count me in that camp.
Yeah.
Anything else on the First Arkansas Bank and Trust text
Some
line?
new ones, but I like to pre-read them before
Okay.
I read it on air.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's not the policy on every show. I'll get Ron in here while you're pre-reading. Could take a while.
Could you reread the daddy one? I'm sorry.
I'll tell you a
Can't
story
wait
off
for
there.
you to come home and pound me, Daddy.
Okay, Wes, we
Okay,
got
I
it.
think we should-
Yeah, just stop. Stop, Ron Burgundy. Jeez Louise. Ron, what's up?
Hey, I just had a quick question for Coach Kelly,
Thank God.
if I could.
Go ahead.
I just wondered ever since he's been on the show, I want to call and ask, with all his knowledge and accolades, when Pittman came in to be the head coach, if they ever sat down and talk football with him.
Well, when he came in, we texted back and forth a couple times, and then we talked on the phone a couple times. But it was just small talk and casual, and not much more than that. But I was interested in. I mean, the lifelong goal for a guy from Arkansas is to go coach for Arkansas, right? To get on the
Yeah.
staff up there, and that's what I was interested in doing. But he had a staff coming in, and I was a little late give him the call and stuff, but I got to know him well enough, and he called me back a few times, and right there he won my respect.
Oh, okay. That's all I had. I just always wondered with everything that I've heard about you and everything. So it was just something I just wondered. Have a good day, fellas.
Hey, Ron, thank you. Wes, with your limited reading ability, I assume that you've had a chance to peruse these by now.
I sure did.
Everybody's getting it. If I'm going to get it, you're getting it back.
Steve says he 100% agrees with Austin Reeves after yesterday's interview. Fan of Reeves now. David says paddleball tournament, Justin?
Pickleball.
Pickleball.
We're going to talk about it right now with Coach Kelly when you get done with those.
What year did Forrest Gump play for Bama?
That's a great question. Don't
That
know.
would have been the 60s.
60s.
Oh, okay. I was going to say 70s, but I think that's right.
Why did
Because
that
he
come
was
up?
like at the, Martin Luther King.
He
and
was there
Washington and stuff.
when they had the integration of Alabama,
Hmm.
and who was the Governor Wallace? Yeah, Governor Wallace.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Why did that come up?
I don't know.
Just a
We've
random question.
We've been all over the place. I don't know, honestly.
We're up to date.
Michael Felder coming up in just a few minutes here. Pickleball's Best of the Best 2023 State Championship. The folks putting this on, we're on the morning show today. We are a sponsor as well and working with the Little Rock Athletic Club. And no surprise, Greg Hatcher is very much behind this as well because he gets things done. If you want to be a part of it, you can contact Jerry Weigel. It is JerryWeigle at LRAC.com. That's the Little Rock Athletic Club, not the school over across town. That's LRCA. Coach knows that. So it's men's, women's, singles, doubles, married couples, and mixed divisions. Does your wife play? I say that when we play golf together. When you meet me, leave a putt short.
She plays around.
Okay,
but not plays.
Gotcha. So it's $1,000 per player for single winners. Double winners get $1,000 a team. There's no entry fee. You just show up there, I guess, and get embarrassed. So I know I'm not good enough to participate in the elites. It says the expectation is that men and women will have ratings of 4.5 plus and 4.0 respectively. Okay. I don't even know how to get rated in pickleball.
Well, they've got this thing called there's an app called the Duper app. And
Duper, that's it.
They have ratings, and you have to go on there and you can kind of self-rate. But then when you start playing people that are already rated, they'll enter the scores. You have to confirm it, and then it will rate you.
Okay. I don't think I'm ready for that.
Well, it's not.
Spectators are welcome free of charge. Participants are going to get food, beverage, and swag. I don't know why there's no entry fee, but I guess you got to get rated, so that's how it goes. I don't know how I'm going to get rated, but I'd like to know what my rating is, though. What's the lowest? What's the opening? Like a white belt?
I guess 0.1.
Okay. Well, like karate or martial arts, it's like a white belt, right? Is that what you start with?
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Then you
Okay.
go to yellow quickly. So you can go your 0.1 and then probably right up to a 1.
I will tell you this. I want to heap some praise. He's not ready for this probably yet, but I played with Phil.
Yeah, I am ready. Go ahead.
Phil Elson the other day. He has never played before. It was unbelievable. I was so blown away. He's never played. He's not a tennis guy, but the guy's got great hand-eye coordination. He's a daintily built little man, but that son of a gun is pretty dang good at pickleball. I was very impressed.
That's baseball. The baseball coming out.
Yeah, maybe so.
Because you got to have great hand-eye coordination to play baseball.
Yeah, but it's a different kind of soft hands to be able to give with.
He's got very soft hands.
Huh.
Incredibly soft.
Wow.
Take my word for it.
Wow.
We live in the same neighborhood. We get together late at night sometimes and have deep conversations and deep tissue massage occasionally too. No, I'm kidding.
Sounds like it.
But he was amazing. So anyway, are you gonna be part of this thing, or do you know some people who should be?
Yeah, I know a lot of people that will be. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a big event. It's really cool. Glad you guys are sponsoring it. Glad Greg Hatcher's involved because like you said, he gets things done. He's the best organizer of things that I've seen in a long, long time and pushes and sells it to people and all that kind of stuff. But pickleball is a great sport. Obviously, everybody knows it's growing. It's fantastic. It's fun. I try to play as much as I can. Literally great exercise. And the beauty is when they say mixed doubles, what everybody likes about it is it's so much a skill sport instead of a strength or or speed
Athleticism,
sport.
yeah.
Yeah. That men, women, older, younger can all play together.
Yeah.
And anybody can beat anybody. My son's really good now. And he and his wife, when they traveled back to her mom's home down in East Texas, they have a little retirement community, and they went down there. He thought he was pretty good. He comes back, and he's got his head down. We go back out playing. I'm like, how'd it go? I know you go play a lot this weekend. He's like, we got slaughtered. I'm like, who beat you? And he said, the first two people that beat us. They beat us bad. Him and his wife are really good. We're 81 and 79 years old.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, and he's like, it was unbelievable. They could hit it anywhere they wanted, no matter what I did.
I do not like your son's wife. She completely emasculated me with Kelsey Hatcher in pickleball one day, and it was very upsetting. It was awful.
Good. She's good.
She's really good.
She's good. She's learned to I don't even look at it like guy girl anymore. If
No.
I was playing them in football, I would think, okay, we're physically superior as far as 40% more muscle mass and all that kind of stuff. But in pickleball, if she beats me, I know that she's good. She played well.
Was talking to Roger about it because he wants to get into it. So I've invited him out with our little lame group comparatively to the group you guys play with over at Hatchers. Maybe he can work up to it. But I told him the first time I played, I got beat, I think the first time I played by a couple of people in their 60s. I mean, it was a husband and wife, and I was with another dude.
From the outside looking in, what does it say about the sport that an athletic guy is getting beat by 60-year-olds or your son's getting beat by 80-year-olds?
Yeah, that's what it says. That the great equalizer is if you're willing to and put the time in on just hitting the ball and learning how to hit it where you want to and being skilled, you can overcome anything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there are some guys I play constantly that are 10 years older than me that are way better than I am because they're so skilled with their hands.
Mm-hmm.
But they've gotten that way. They weren't, like you say, they don't have to be tennis players or baseball players or anything. They go pick up the paddle.
Play a lot of pickleball.
The
That
more
helps.
you play, the better you get and you start learning things.
Do you not have to move?
Yeah.
It helps, but the ones that are really good will hit it to you where you can't do anything except hit it back up in the air where they've got time to move.
Have you ever played tennis with somebody that's really good?
Yeah.
They'll have you running all over the damn court, and you're just like, I couldn't beat you if we played 1,000
Yeah,
times.
and they're standing station. You look and
They
you're
don't
trying to
even
get
move,
everything
yeah.
back, and they're not even having to move because their shots are so good. All you're doing is trying to get a racket on it.
Yeah.
And that's the way it is in skilled pickleball with some older people. Unbelievable how good some people are.
But the good news is, even if you lose, occasionally you get to smash one really hard at their face. So that kind of makes you feel a little bit better about it.
That's true.
I mean, I'll smack one at an old dude. I don't care.
I like when I'm playing against Justin. I just use him for target practice. He likes to pop them up and give you a free shot, which I think is very nice of you. Very nice.
A couple weeks ago, I was playing a buddy of mine.
Don't worry. When you get to 199, all this crap's going to change.
Thanks, Joe. It's hilarious. When my hair falls out and I'm skinny and bald.
You come back and you throw that blonde hair, flowing locks.
I may go
comes off the
frosted
light.
tips.
Frosted tips. Yeah, Wes, I think you'd like it.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun.
Maybe the length would
No,
that
the
help?
length absolutely it helps.
Yeah.
No question. Joe and you together wouldn't even have to take a step once you got to the net.
I mean, Coach Kelly and I would smash you guys, but it would be fun to play.
That's true. On both counts.
It's 11:31.
Hmm.
Michael Felder's coming up. Oh, somebody wants some. Oh, did we just rile up the old NBA star? Oh,
Joe,
let's go.
Joe, don't be playing. This is nothing to play around with.
Yeah, just serious business. Somebody might get their feeling hurt.
I would love to beat a former NBA player. Would you
So
not?
would I. Yes,
And
I
I'm
would.
gonna buy a T-shirt. I beat an NBA player. I'm not even gonna say in what. Just I beat an NBA player.
Yeah. Joe wants some. I love it. Let's do it. I'm telling you, it is the most approachable thing you're ever going to do activity-wise.
Listen, I'd crush you.
No chance. But you know what? Willing to give you a crack at it anytime for free corkies. And if I lose, well, I won't lose. Anyway, it's time to get out of the bar. Are you leaving?
I'm leaving.
Why don't you say goodbye?
Goodbye.
You're too busy being PO'd about it, getting talked down to.
I think he knew he jumped a little too deep in the water.
He's like, I better get out of
A
here.
little too deep in the deep end.
Come on. We're going to make it happen.
I'm afraid to play you guys in pickleball.
Yeah. Thank you, Joe.
Wow.
Get that on the record.
Really? Wes, are you afraid?
No.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh,
Easy and big
listen,
targets too.
It's like Yoda once told Luke Skywalker, "You will be." Michael Felder coming up. As we head in, let me tell you about my friends at Max Prairie Wings down in Stuttgart. If you're ready for summer, and why wouldn't you be? Today's the summer solstice, for goodness sakes. No better time to get out on the water, and there's no better place to go to do it than Max Prairie Wings down in Stuttgart, offering a great deal on Yamaha outboards right now. Limited time only. But when you purchase any in-stock Yamaha 25 to 90 horsepower outboard engine, you get a $500 gift card from Max Prairie Wings. You can use it on anything in the store. That'll get you a lot of cool stuff and get you ready to rock and roll outside, thanks to our friends at Max Prairie Wings. So just buy that outboard engine, get a $500 gift card, and spend it on anything in the store. You know, the Yamaha outboard, I shouldn't have to tell you too much about it. You're probably pretty familiar at this point. Reliability, affordability, that's what it's all about. And a great 3-year warranty, so you can't go wrong. And with Max Prairie Wings competitive pricing and in-house financing, you can get out of there with your dream, my friends, and enjoy yourself this summer. It's fun having summertime on the land. It's a lot more fun having it out on the water. Max Prairie Wings wants to help. Go by and see him. That's just the tip of the iceberg. Everything you need down in Stuttgart at Max Prairie Wings. It's 11:34. All right, we're way behind. We got to get to it. It's 11:38. Michael Felder on the Brandon Moving and Storage Hotline, or maybe he's not. He's probably like, screw you guys. It's summer, and I'm got better stuff to do than talk to you idiots. You're late anyway. Sorry about that. We're terrible. We're not really good at time management, and by we I mean Wes. Kevin Kelly's here, hanging out. Thanks to Bowen Heffley Orthopedics. Appreciate them. Appreciate you. And we got to talk. We didn't really talk about the draft with Joe. He got out of here. He was too busy making fun of people, and so we didn't really get a time to chat that up with him. But that's okay. I guess he can tell us next week, Wes, what he thinks of where everybody went, which will be compelling anyway. Michael, sorry we're late. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
It's good. We're good. It's a summer solstice, so we started early. I mean, we're all drinking up here and just getting ready for the day. So,
hey, you know what? Why don't I just pour a shot for myself too?
There you go. What are you doing this time of year? June 21. What's on Michael Felder's agenda?
I am doing a new show on Stadium called Inside Football, and so we're previewing every NFL team, and then we're mixing in some college. I actually am going to send an email to my producer for tomorrow because I want to talk about Alabama and their quarterback situation, and it spreads to the wide receiver and running back situation because I think they're going to be in a really weird place. And my buddy Bud Elliott over there at 247, he posted a video about Alabama and Nick Saban kind of being like, we were really good a year ago and we didn't get a chance to go to the playoff, but it feels like a deflection from we're probably not going to be that good this year.
Yeah,
I'm not buying that.
I watched was it Joel Klatt he talked to the other day? I watched a little bit of that too. And he was talking about, it seems like he's always talking about parity. And I'm like, you're not part of the parity. You should be happy where you are. You're the last guy that should be talking about that. You should be riding the wave as long as you can. You're not going to be coaching that much longer. You should be praying against parity for as long as you can.
I think that this is the year that they come down to earth in a big way.
Ooh-wee!
Coach, did you hear that?
Like
Alabama coming back down to earth in a big way.
Michael, maybe Arkansas.
I've been saying that. I said that as soon as they did NIL. Give them 2 to 3 years, they'll be back down below the top.
Maybe Arkansas beats them this year, breaks the long losing streak, and then Arkansas doesn't even have to play them next year. That would be phenomenal.
Yeah, I know. I saw the schedule. I honestly I don't think it's about NIL. I think it's missing. I think he's missed on a few things. He's missed on what the quarterback's going to be. Obviously, he hasn't been able to keep his coordinators because they go on to bigger and better, at least for a little while. Even though most of them don't seem to be that good when they're not in that building. And I think the reality for me is we're looking at a team in Alabama that they lost one of the best quarterbacks they've ever had. Their running back position, they had to go out and find a transfer to help them at the running back spot a year ago. Without Gibbs, that running back room looks very average. And I went back and looked at it, and you go back from 2008 all the way to now, they had some dudes. I mean, Mark Ingram, even Glenn Coffey, and you throw in guys like Najee Harris, and obviously Trent Richardson was a monster as a college player, Derrick Henry. There's nobody like that on this roster because Jason McClellan can't stay healthy. So we don't know what that's going to look like. They had to go out and get a transfer wide receiver this year in Malik Benson. They had to go out and get a transfer wide receiver. The other guy, Jermaine Burton's also a transfer from Georgia. And Ja'Cory Brooks is kind of, quote-unquote, homegrown for them. But they're fighting against the clock. And I don't think it has anything to do with NIL. I think they've missed. They've missed on some kids, and they haven't missed on the line. They haven't missed on the defensive line. But at skill positions, they've missed some spots. And then as you change offenses, with Tommy Rees now being there, I think they're going to be a little bit more vulnerable than before.
Michael Felder on the Brandon Moving and Storage Hotline. Ole Miss continues to stock its quarterback room. Story from ESPN talking about Austin Simmons, who was a Florida recruit. They flipped him to the Rebels. Mm-hmm. He's a 25 kid, but he's decided to reclassify, and now he's going to come to Ole Miss this summer. 6'2", 190. What's the upside of coming to school so early, Michael? I would think from physical development standpoint, you're giving yourself a little bit of a disadvantage here.
Yeah, like we've seen what, 2 kids do this really? We've seen Jake Bentley and JT Daniels. Both of them have done it, and it didn't go well for either one of them. I think that there's this idea in their mind that they're gonna speed the plow. Like they're gonna get there, they're gonna be there early, they're gonna be good to go. And I don't like it.
Yeah, me either.
Like I don't like it, and I don't know if it's the pressure from them or the pressure from the staff or the pressure from their parents, but the reality of it is football is a very different sport than basketball. It's a very different sport than baseball. In basketball, you can be like the guys that we see get picked very young in basketball, especially in the days when they were taking guys out of high school. They were either remarkably talented, like Kobe, and skilled, like Kobe Bryant, or they had a size that you can't teach, and like Kevin Garnett. And football's not like that. And so going early, like I'm used to things going the other way, where guys reclass and they go a year later. That's what I'm used to seeing. So we'll see how this works out.
Yeah.
But yeah, the two examples that stand out in my mind, J.C. Daniels and then Jake Bentley. Neither one of those, like those guys are a mere memory for USC fans, South Carolina and Southern Cal.
Coach, how important are those reps that you get as a quarterback in high school in the right system to prepare you for college?
The reps you get, especially in games. There's no substitute. I don't care if it's a high school game, a JV game. I mean, that's why we played a ton of JV games. I want to get my next guy as many game-like reps. I always said there's about a 1 to 7 ratio. I think if you got a snap in a high school game, that was worth 7 practice snaps. I really believe that with all I'm worth. And the more you get, I mean, because when you get out there, I don't care if you're in high school or if you're in college, that moment's the same. You know what they're trying to do to you. You know what you're trying to do. You know the feeling of the crowd watching, the stress you're under. And that's half the battle right there.
Well, what's the saying? Practice hard, game easy. Like, that's the reality. And I think that as they get those games, I think the same thing stands to go to the next level. If you play a lot of football, if you play a lot of games over the course of your career, your high school career, you're going to be more prepared than guys who played fewer games. And those games can be JV, those games can be varsity, but the reality of it is you've got to play those games. So if you're skipping a year of games, football is the sport that has the least amount of games. Least amount of games.
You'd be amazed.
To evaluate someone, it's got the least amount of games to evaluate someone. Even if they play 4 years, you're still looking at realistic. Like, I started on varsity from day one. And I played, what are we looking at? 12, 13, 16. Like, we're looking at, I'm barely getting to 50 games over the course of my career. And if you're taking 12 of those out, then that's a problem. And so it's going to be one of those things that makes it hard. The guy I'll point out, DTR, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, he was behind Tate Martell. So he didn't get all those reps at quarterback. It took him until his true senior year at UCLA to show that he is a quality quarterback.
Dude, you'd be amazed at how many college coaches, and this is one of the few things that they don't come out and say in the media, that look for guys when they're recruiting. If it's even close, they'll pick a guy whose team goes further in the playoffs for 2 reasons, especially if it's consistently 10th, 11th, 12th grade. They'll always look for a 3-year starter if they can find one. They'll always look for a guy that goes further in playoffs for 2 reasons. One, they know they're used to winning, but 2 is they've got almost another full season of games. You know, you play 10 games in high school, but if you go to the state championship game, you could play 15. Do that 2 years out of your 3. You got a full extra season of those game reps.
Bingo.
What about
that? Listen, Coach, you said it better than I can, because it took me a long time to get there, but exactly what I was saying. Like, there's not a lot of game reps for guys, and taking away a full season, especially if we're talking about a playoff run, I just don't. It's not a thing I think works out really well.
What about physical maturity? Because we know, some kids mature quicker than others, and maybe he's mature. He's not going to. He's hit his puberty and gone through it all, and he's not growing anymore, and he's a full-grown man. How much do the teams look at that?
I think that's really hard to tell. If I'm being honest with you, I think it's really tough to tell, because Leonard Fournette, and I don't know if it's always good, because there's 2 examples I'll give. One is a specific example. That's Leonard Fournette, right? Everyone was like, Leonard Fournette could go to the NFL right now. He should challenge the ruling of having him play football for 3 years. He'd go to the NFL. He deteriorated in a rapid fashion. The other one I'll say, and you guys are right there on the border, but Texas football players always Texas high school football players They always look more mature. They have advanced weightlifting programs. They have advanced, like tutelage. And then they get to school and they don't get that much better. They don't get that much bigger. They don't get that much faster. They don't get that much stronger. They are who they are. So yeah, you might maybe he's a grown man, sure. But
Well,
if he's going to stay where he is, I don't know that I want that. I love when we see these guys from Florida, guys from Georgia, when we see these kids from the backwoods of Ohio or kids from Montana that all of a sudden, hey man, I gained 45 pounds and look at me now. I didn't know what a power team was when I was in high school. And so that's one of the big things that I think about in terms of that situation.
Michael, we got to run. Enjoy your. I'm not going to talk to you guys before the 4th, so enjoy your holiday and
you too.
Thanks for coming on. Appreciate you, my friend.
Always good, man. You guys take it easy.
All right,
See you, Michael.
Check out Michael's work. Stadium doing some NFL stuff too. That's cool. Cool to see. We'll hit a break. Come back. We'll wrap up the hour. We got Coach. I'll let you judge the what the hell after it's over. But I think it's a pretty good group today. In fact, I got a sports one that starts it off, and it is wild.
I like it when you under promise and over deliver, but you were headed there, but you just now broke it.
Yeah. If you don't love this first story, I can't help you.
Is this
like
the bowling one?
You better believe it, buddy.
I can still use it. I was going to use it for chumps on Friday.
You can, absolutely.
Okay.
If he's not your chump of the week, I'd like to meet the guy who is.
Big O Tires, Cabot and Conway, 2 great locations, great selection of tires. They got all the name brand tires. Plus, they have the Big O tire, great tire. And they do alignment checks for free alignment checks. And they do brakes. They do a lot of things at Big O Tires. They got mechanics there. They'll take a look at your car, get you back out there running smoothly on the road. In Cabot, it's Prospect Court right in front of Kroger. In Conway, they're on Harkrider. Go see our friends at Big O Tires.
11:53. Welcome back on the summer solstice. Kevin Kelly hanging in here. Thanks to Bowen Heffley Orthopedics. We appreciate them, and I know you do too, Coach.
Yeah, I do too. And as a matter of fact, I think we're coming to the end of this cycle, and appreciate them. Hopefully, I've sent them. Not hopefully, I know I've sent them more business than this spot costs. But glad to do it because they're good people, and they do a great job. And Dr. Bowen, Dr. Heffley, two guys I know well that lead a group of doctors that are fantastic, second to none. They've worked on my family. I've had 4 or 5 different doctors there work on people from my family, from back surgery to shoulder surgery to hip surgery, knee surgery, tendon surgery, and biceps tendon surgery, and my son 4 times. And always, when I'm asked, would you send them back? I always send my family back to those guys. So best in town, and appreciate them for what they've done.
All right. First, Arkansas. Old habits are hard to break. You know what? Appreciate their support, too. They are not sponsoring the text line anymore. Again, if you're interested in that, sales at 1037thebuzz.com. I actually was doing good for 2 days, and then I completely spaced. Anyway.
So we need to sell my spot. Can anybody out there want to buy my spot?
Bowen Heffley,
if you like to hear me
Orthopedics,
talk.
Yeah, we're gonna keep you on, Coach. Don't you
I'll
worry
even
about
send
that.
you some customers.
Buddy, don't worry about it. We're going to keep you on. Don't you sweat it. We're going to keep you rock and roll. We can't possibly do the show this summer without you.
From the 501 on our text line, Big Joe was mentioned on the Right Time podcast with Bomani Jones last Wednesday.
Really?
For what?
Doesn't
Does it
say.
say? Oh.
501. Why did they mention him? Was it good? Was it bad?
NBA bus. What you get, Joe? You dirty dog.
Lynn in Little Rock sent us a message. Remember to drink lots of water and stay indoors between 11 a.m. and November 2nd.
What am I missing? Because it's warm?
Yeah, just summer's
Summer
here.
solstice?
Summer's here.
That's Arkansas for you. I
Yeah.
love it. Or find some water, man. That's the key.
Yeah, drink.
I know you
and
drink, Wes.
Steve,
What about water, though?
Steve agrees with what we were just talking to Michael Felder about with Alabama falling or coming back down to earth, possibly. He says he agrees. He says, place your future bet on Texas when they visit Alabama this fall.
Here's what makes it hard for Texas. Going back to what Michael was saying, he hit there. He said what I was gonna jump in and say. Remember Coach Shannon, that was the linebackers coach at Arkansas a while back.
Randy Shannon?
Yeah, Randy Shannon.
Yeah, he's way more than just Arkansas's. I always think it was Miami's coach, but yeah.
Well, yeah, went down to he was at Miami. Well, he went to Texas for a while, and he and I got to talk but he came in the office, sat down, we talked football for a little while, and we got to talking about that. I said, what do you think the number one problem with Texas? He goes, because they've got to recruit Texas players, and Texas players are the most physically developed because all the high schools spend so much money on money. They're doing college things. They've got indoors. They've got the best weight workout facility. It looks like colleges at some of these places. Y'all have seen some of the pictures.
Sure.
And they have protein that they give to the kids, so the kids don't have to worry about whether they're getting it or not on their own. So they're getting more out of their workouts, and they come out, like Michael said, physically developed. They're closer to peak. They're not peak because they're still 18, but they're closer to peak than any other kids from any other state in the country.
Huh.
And, if you get a really, really good one, that just way better, they'll take a chance on him. But if it's close in what they're doing on the field and they've got an undeveloped physical kid, they're going to take that kid because they know he'll get way better real quick.
Ceiling is higher. On some of those
Yeah,
kids.
exactly.
The Texas high school kids are closer to their ceiling.
And Florida's got weird rules where they've got a law that you can't pay the football coach more than you pay the band director. Okay.
Shut up.
I kid you not. And as a result of that, they don't.
There's a lot of $200,000 band directors, I bet.
Well, no. As a result of that, you never see that nobody goes and hires the top 5 coaches where they just dominate a program and build it up, because those coaches eventually leave somewhere and go somewhere else. And what happens is they don't build facilities for these, because you build facilities when a program starts doing really well and you bring in more money through the revenue and all that. And they don't build the facilities and the equipment and the workout facilities for these kids that are in Florida. So they're always raw and they have a higher ceiling.
Wow.
That's why Florida has so many. I think they're like 450 to 550 every year on number of D1 football players that come out of there.
Wow.
They were talking about Big Joe on the podcast about when he was traded to the Celtics.
Gotcha. Mark says, I played tennis in one day, ended up playing Cy Young Award winner Cliff Lee. I didn't realize it until the second set. We ended up winning. It was a 6-0 USTA mixed game. I'll always remember that day. Take on Joe if you can. Oh, I'll take on Joe with Coach Kelly if Wes and Joe are man enough.
That'd be a great show for the morning show. Let the morning show describe our game at like 8 in the morning, 9 in the morning.
Be hilarious.
And we'll play it. They'll be commenting, doing their thing.
I love it. 12:06 in the zone. Welcome back for our third hour today. Kevin Kelly is here. Wes Moore is here. So is his ham sandwich. The Wizard, Christian Weaver. And I'm your humble servant, Justin Acree. Thank you for being with us today. And by humble, I mean I've been humbled today. I've been getting beaten up on by a bunch of meanies. And I take it. And I don't even care. While Wes is finishing his snack, Coach, this from our Asher Record Live fan feedback. Eric says, at a recent 7-on-7 tournament, I learned that Coach Kelly was the top candidate at Bryant. This would be awesome, and he would be great. What happened? Is he still interested? Quad Sanders is going to be pretty upset if he finds this out since he's already accepted the job.
And Quad Sanders is going to do a great job. I love that dude. I actually tried to hire him when I left and went to South Carolina.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how highly I think of him. I mean, he's awesome. Could do a great job. They won the 7-on-7 tournament at PA, and no, that was not the job I wanted.
Speaking of him, going back to his college days, I wanted to mention that Central Arkansas has hired Greg Stewart back as their defensive coordinator. Just absolutely one of the best dudes you're going to find, and a heck of a coach, too. He was out of coaching for just a minute. He went with Steve Campbell over to South Alabama and then took a little breather, and he's back. So I'm really excited about it, and I know Coach Brown is, too. They've also promoted Keith Scott, who's been on the staff. That's the word I'm looking for quite a while, to assistant head coach. So I want to congratulate him as well, and excited about that. Also, Brooks Hollingsworth, who I'm sure you've had some run-ins with over the years, Coach. I mean, he goes way back to the Tech days. He's been at UCA for a long time, but he's hanging it up from on-field coaching. He's going to serve as director of high school relations. So
He'll be great at that. I love Brooks Hollingsworth and Coach Scott too. Man, I'm a big fan. I tried to hire him. Well, and he was going to take the job. I couldn't pay him enough money. We couldn't pay anything down there.
Yeah.
But I was going to hire him. He was going to come when he was over coaching in Tennessee, and man, they've got some great dudes on that staff.
Yeah.
Really good guys. But Coach Hollingsworth, good for him, getting to slow down on the hours a little bit. But man, he is fantastic with coach relations.
Yeah, I would think that'd be perfect, and maybe someday you'll be dealing with him, just not at Bryan in the near future.
No.
And Michelle says, we want to wish our daughter Virginia La Liberty, the new 2023 Mrs. Arkansas America, a very happy birthday. Virginia, happy birthday. There you go. Jumping the gun a little bit on birthday trivia. Okay.
This from Darren Ravel on Twitter.
Oh, I thought he sent in a
No,
text
he didn't
line.
send it to us. This is on Twitter. Brandon Miller, odds to go number 2 in the draft tomorrow night. Yesterday, he was plus 185. Today, Brandon Miller is minus 625.
So he is locked in and loaded and ready to roll.
I don't think he should go 2.
But he's gonna.
But
odds are he's gonna.
I think Michael Jordan's going to screw him one last time. Take the wrong guy.
Some
And then he's gonna
guy
dip out of there.
Some guy bet. Gosh, I can't remember the exact number. It's something like $60,000.
Yeah, I saw that.
To win
300.
On who?
Victor to go
going
number 1.
Oh man.
Oh, you could bet $10 million.
Yeah.
To make 2,000 or whatever the number would be.
It's a safe bet if you have it.
There's nothing that's a sure thing, but that's a sure thing.
Yeah, that's 100% a sure thing.
You would get your entire staff would be fired, and your owner would riot and probably kill him or her.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can't take anybody but Victor.
It's just getting
to the
enough
victor, go the spoils.
Getting enough capital to put down to make it just a little.
Well, you'd have to find a
In this case,
a
to the
casino that would take the bet.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, to the spoils go Victor because they suck to get there.
That's a great point, Coach. That's really well done there. That's why we have Kevin Kelly, and folks, don't miss out on your
I
opportunity.
was waiting for my one chance to be here.
Today's entertainment report is brought to you by Bell and Sword Gentlemen's Clothing in Conway. Check them out on Facebook and Instagram, or stop by Bell and Sword at 1016 Oak Street in Conway.
You guys ever get jock itch?
No.
Ever? You never had it?
Never.
No.
Just you?
Just me. Weird.
I'm a pretty clean person.
Is that where your jock
You
is?
take 3 showers a day, you're not going to get it.
3 showers a day?
I mean, I used to shower
And
twice a
if
day.
If it's summer and I go play, work, get up, take one in the morning, go work out.
I got
come
it
back,
in.
take one.
I
go
got it in
for-
high
go
school.
to- Go one before you go to bed.
I got the foot fungus, and
Oh.
I got jock itch once. Awful. Anyway, Adele is raking in millions of dollars during her recent Las Vegas residency. You did not expect us to take an Adele turn.
I did not. I was wondering where you're going with it.
She chatted with her fans over the weekend. She said she recently been diagnosed with a case of jock itch. She wears Spanx during her shows, even though she's lost a ton of weight and she looks fantastic. She wears Spanx to make sure all her costumes fit. And then you get the hot lights. And, I mean, you sweat. I mean, if you've ever been on stage with a big performer, it is hotter than Hades up there. I don't know how they do it. But anyway, she said, so it looks like I'm an athlete, basically, talking about her jock itch issue. She goes, I have to squirt it on myself. I don't know why the blank I just told you that. We don't know either, but that's pretty cool. Good for her. She's a real person. She's a real person. And who else what do you have, an assistant that sprays on your jock itch spray? No.
They do. They have an assistant that does everything.
That's probably true. She's a pretty big star. John Goodman used to be a big star, but he's a lot smaller star than he used to be. He has lost 200 pounds, probably because Coach Kelly told him he was a fatty. The 70-year-old looked dapper in a new jacket, apparently, at a recent appearance. Monte Carlo Television Festival in Monaco. He said, in the old days, I would take 3 months out, lose 60 or 70 pounds, then reward myself with a six-pack or whatever, and just go back to my old habits. This time I wanted to do it more slowly, move, exercise. I'm getting to the age where I can't afford to sit still anymore. No one can, Coach. Is that right or wrong? No one can afford to sit still. You need to move. Your body needs to move. Your body was built to move.
Use it or lose it is the probably the most used phrase, but the most truthful phrase that you could have and apply to.
There's no question. You know some people that aren't moving around too much? The people that are trapped inside that damn submarine that were looking for the Titanic. Search crews desperately looking for them, as Wes pointed out earlier, did find some signs of life. An internal U.S. government memo, according to CNN, the crews detected banging noises in 30-minute intervals over their sonars emanating from inside the North Atlantic Ocean Tuesday. You know, it'd be amazing if the ping was coming from inside the Titanic all these years later. They got in a little air pocket and they found food and they've stayed alive all these years. Probably the lady that threw the diamond in the ocean.
I'm with you. That would be amazing.
How long ago was that?
They're like 140 years old.
Yeah. Listen, don't split hairs. Anyway, we'll see what happens. I don't think any of us expect a real good outcome on this deal. I also don't expect that any of us would have gotten on this stupid sub. So I watched a video yesterday with a guy talking about it. And if the pressure's not right or there's a leak in any way, it explodes underwater.
Implodes.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Implodes, explodes, whatever. It implodes, okay? There's a plode. And you die, okay? You're 40,000 feet or 40,000 feet or whatever it
pressure's
is.
so high.
Yeah, because you can't scuba dive that deep. You have to be in this special submarine. The other piece is they have to they bolt it from the outside. So even if you got to the surface, you can't get out. You can't get out. You can float to the surface and sit there and die because you don't have any oxygen left because it is sealed shut from the outside. Would you ever get in a vehicle like that? I wouldn't. What an idiot. And you paid $250,000 to get in there. I'm not saying anybody deserves it. They don't. But dear Lord, that is a pretty risky proposition in my book.
Did you see how they're controlling the submarine? With a off-brand video game controller from 2005. That's how they're driving this thing.
2005?
What off-brand?
Logitech.
Oh, Logitech. I've had some Logitech stuff over
I've
there.
had some Logitech. It always breaks.
I think that's his point.
I mean, doesn't it? All your Logitech stuff. Of course, y'all probably haven't had a lot. I've had a lot of Logitech.
I have too.
Always breaks.
Yeah. I want to congratulate Keith Holland. He's a Little Rock guy. Has purchased the 200-room Hotel Hot Springs. And I didn't know what was going to happen with that. They declared bankruptcy not long ago, but they've renovated the hotel. We've stayed there many times. And I hope that Keith Holland is excited about working with us because that used to be kind of our home away from home during the NCAA, during the high school basketball championships down at Banco ZK.
That's the home of the High School Football Coaches Association.
Yeah, did it used to be the Arlington?
No.
The Arlington was where they had the hot.
That's where there's
Arlington's still the
Shut
Arlington.
that down.
But the Hotel Hot Springs used to be the something else before, and I can't remember the name of it now. It was so forgettable. But once they took it over and made it the Hotel Hot Springs, it became a very nice hotel. Anyway, I'm wishing him the best of luck. And listen, call me. Let's be partners. Let's work together. I want you guys to succeed because, frankly, we like to stay there. It's in a great location, too, because you can get to all the stuff down Central. It's a great spot. And then you also are right there at the arena.
I'm pulling for, of course, I'm from Hot Springs, the area, but I'm pulling for Hot Springs. I hope he takes it, does a great job with it.
What was that hotel before?
A lot of
remember?
close. God, I know. I was trying to think of it. Of course, I'm the guy that.
The Austin. Boom.
Good job.
Where'd that come from?
He took a drink from his Iowa State cup, and all of a sudden he realized he was supposed to be smart because he graduated from it.
4 days of sobriety, Wes. That's where it came from.
A little caffeine.
I'm proud of you. I'm just going to tell you, I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
It's hard to do.
Appreciate that. Speaking of brains, taking a nap during the day can leave you feeling refreshed. Study which analyzed data from people aged 40 to 69 has shown that a daytime nappy could slow the rate at which your brain shrinks with age. You guys take naps ever?
Rarely, very rarely.
I'm
Once a
rarely
year.
too. Once a year. I take one more than that. But it's usually because I was up too late the night before. The average difference in brain volume between habitual nappers and those who were not was equivalent to 2.6 to 6.5 years of aging. They said they hope their findings into the health benefits of sleeping during the day will reduce any stigma that exists around daytime napping. I think that's great.
I like a little nap, but I just never do it.
I love when it never occurs to me in a nap because I'm not tired. That's a great feeling.
How cool would it be if we had if we had a president that mandated
a siesta?
A siesta. Look, every day, everything shuts off. The internet shuts off for 20 minutes, except for we got to have a few people monitor things. 20 minutes, and everybody has to take a 20-minute nap.
Oh, I'm a firm
Be the
believer we
best
need
ever.
more days off of work. I think Americans would be willing to work a little bit harder if we got more days off.
And a lot of those European countries got it figured out in terms of
Yeah, we need much more time off, I think, as Americans. It's like, well, what about Super Bowl Monday? What would you want to replace it with? I just want Super Bowl Monday
Yeah.
off. Like, I don't want to replace it with anything. Like, I don't want to take away any holidays. Like, we should add 5 or 6 more. Let's do Flag Day. Let's
do
have
Arbor Day.
Arbor Day. You know what? Hug a tree.
If we do them, can we make sure everybody takes off? Like everybody.
Juneteenth should be it.
100%.
You know
with
what?
you.
That was a weird one, Juneteenth, because it was a federal holiday, right? The banks are closed, but the state revenue office was open. And so I couldn't figure out if it was a real holiday or not as far as the way everybody looked at it.
I'm sure there are some states that recognize it, right?
Texas does. doesn't it? Yeah.
Interesting.
There are a lot of states that recognize it. But what my deal is, if they're going to make one, if it's really a holiday, let's make it a freaking
like Christmas,
blanket
Thanksgiving.
holiday. Yeah, blanket holiday.
I'm with you. Miller Lite wants you to put ice in your beer this summer. You guys ever do that?
No.
Never had beer.
It
Oh.
should be cold beforehand.
It is cold beforehand, but if you're sipping on it, I have actually done that before where I stick a little ice in there. But this is actually genius. And I'm very, very disappointed in myself that it never occurred to me to do this. And admittedly, you don't have to buy theirs, but they have a new hack. It's an ice cube tray that Miller Lite is selling that you freeze your Miller Lite in. So you make Miller Lite ice cubes, then put it into your Miller Lite beer once you get maybe halfway through, and you help chill it out. But you're right. I mean, yes, I want my beer ice cold when I get it. And normally, let's be real, it doesn't get warm before I'm done with it. But occasionally, if you're sipping one slowly, MillerLite.com/beer cubes, they're sending them now. Selling them now. You could do that
Not
with any
bad.
kind of
Not bad
cube
idea.
thing, I guess. Yeah.
We do that
Good
like
marketing.
when I do my infusion of Tito's vodka.
Yeah.
I'll take the, let's say, blueberries out of the vodka and I freeze them.
Right.
And then when I make my blueberry and water vodka drink, throw some of those blueberries in there that's soaked with vodka, and it just makes the drink a little bit better.
Genius.
Did you do that with your Curans I gave you?
My what?
Currants?
Currants, yes.
Currants?
Absolutely.
You did?
Yes, it's excellent.
Did you eat them?
Sometimes I just eat them, though,
Mhm.
just for a
Good little snack.
A little snack.
Good little healthy snack in the afternoon.
It's healthy.
Help
all
you
right.
with that nap.
Not before work. Scarlett Johansson speaking out this week. She was getting grilled by an interviewer. She's in the new movie Asteroid City. Do you like Wes Anderson? Do you know him?
No.
Christian, give him some movies other than Fantastic Mr. Fox, which is my favorite.
Bottle Rocket, the Grand Budapest Hotel.
Grand Budapest Hotel I never
French
saw.
Dispatch. It doesn't seem like Kevin Kelly would be a Wes Anderson guy.
Kevin Kelly isn't so far.
Moonrise Kingdom, which I didn't care for that.
Fantastic Mr. Fox is one of my favorite animated
one. Isle
movies.
of Dogs too, I believe.
Yes. Anyway, he's quirky. It's quirky.
Very.
This new movie's called Asteroid City, and if you aren't already intrigued, let me offer you this.
Scarlett, you have a brief nude scene in this film. What was that? What were the conversations around that? Dude, it's done very funny. It's done in a very funny way. The way it's brought up.
I would like to also point out that this is the nerdiest questioner of all time, and he was clearly uncomfortable talking
he
about
was so
nudity
nervous?
with his wife, let alone with Scarlett Johansson. Carry on.
Yeah, I mean, Wes is probably the worst person to talk to about anything like that because he's already so uncomfortable around that topic.
Can we use that? in the
So
comment?
I'll leave it up to your imagination. You know, a lot of kind of lots of throat clearing and sort of hiding his face. Yeah.
Well, I don't think most people who are watching the movie are going to hide their face. Apparently, it's brief nudity. I haven't seen it, but for your benefit, just so you know if it's okay to take the kids, I'm going to go watch it this week, and I'll let you know how it goes.
Please do.
Okay.
What's the movie about?
An asteroid that's going to hit Earth, I think.
Oh, I like those kind of movies.
Yeah.
It's not like Armageddon, though.
Yeah, they don't send up a bunch of drillers
Yeah.
to
oil drillers
try to explain it.
destroy
Are we
it
just going to
before
sit there
it
and
gets
take it like a real world?
They may.
I think that's the gist of it. I don't know. I don't know.
It's got Tom Hanks in it, too.
It's got a great cast. Cast
amazing
ridiculous.
cast.
Yeah.
What's the Wes Anderson?
Zion Williamson's got a pretty good cast. His ongoing feud with Mariah Mills has taken a move in his direction. They have banned her from Twitter after she threatened to release their sex tapes.
About time. It's been 2 weeks of this is constant.
She claimed, she says, you better pray I'm not pregnant too. We're all praying that, Mariah. I don't want you procreating, frankly. Anyway, so I'm glad Twitter's on his side. I know that they're very anti censorship, but
Plus, like she claimed she had sex tapes and she was going to release them. That's a crime.
right. Can't have that.
That's blackmail, right?
Sure is.
If she's asking for something in return.
Right.
Is she the reason why he hasn't played more games?
No, Pizza is.
Pizza's up there too.
If all the times he ate pizza, he was doing stuff with her, I think he'd probably be fine. Or at
Well,
least
or in more
he'd
trouble.
be in better shape.
Or in more trouble.
Maybe so. Walker Hayes in the news this week. Christian, what's your favorite Walker Hayes song?
If I had to pick a favorite Walker Hayes song, it would be the tie between every Walker Hayes song.
Okay.
not in a good way.
And they all finished last,
Yeah,
right?
not in a good way.
He apparently took his daughter to a Taylor Swift concert. Apparently, Walker Hayes doesn't make nearly as much money as I would have thought because apparently they sat in the nosebleeds. And he wrote a song about taking his daughter to the Taylor Swift concert. And Wes, you can appreciate this, having spent a small fortune on tickets for your daughters, because again, you are very selfless and you're looking out for them. You're not trying to do the things you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
You want to make it possible for them to do the things that they want to do, because your life's basically over anyway, and they have so much in front of them. Walker Hayes feels the same way, apparently. And he took one for the team and took his daughter to go see Taylor Swift. But apparently things didn't go exactly as they intended after spending quite a bit of money.
Who am I that I get to hold a real life princess while she sleeps through her way to expensive birthday gift? I just hope that she grows up and always knows that me, her mom, and Jesus love her even more than she loves Taylor Swift. Ooh, yeah.
There you go. That's just a snippet of it. But it's a nice long song. You can look for it on the internet if you want.
So his daughter fell asleep during the concert.
Fell asleep and he held her in his arms.
How old is she?
9. A cute story. It's actually a cute little song.
Better wake her up.
And she's sitting back there playing the mandolin behind him. Not really, though. I mean, she's just got her fingers across all the
Air
strings.
mandolin?
What?
Air mandolin?
Well, no, she's stroking. She's strumming it. All right.
Good
Calm
catch.
down. The Grammys have updated their guidelines to make any works created solely using AI not eligible for awards. What about sampling? Guess that's okay. The Recording Academy will not recognize work that contains no human authorship. Okay, so
I like
if
this.
Paul McCartney performs but uses AI to recreate Lennon, it's okay, which I'd be fine with. The Academy decided that songs containing elements of AI will be considered as long as they also have meaningful contributions from people. Okay. Yeah, but completely AI is completely BS.
Yeah, we
Am I
shouldn't be doing
right?
that.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Speaking of BS, holy cow, you guys are not going to believe this, except for you guys are going to totally believe this. So Denise Richards apparently and her daughter, you know this, are both on OnlyFans.
I haven't seen anything of this since we talked about it.
That's good. Your wife would prefer that. Denise Richards is doing pretty well, I think. She is making, how much do you think a month on OnlyFans?
218.
Let's go. Yeah, I was going to say
I was going to
200,000.
say like 120.
Okay. How about $2 million a month
Oh
without
my
taking her
gosh.
clothes off? True story. Her daughter, Sammy Sheen, who most people don't know, is making $80,000 a month
With all due respect, if she's not taking her clothes off, why is she making $2 million?
because she's a famous person on OnlyFans. She's one of the more famous people on OnlyFans. People become famous on OnlyFans because on OnlyFans, but she was famous before OnlyFans, and people still think she's smoking.
But I think
And-
people are buying the OnlyFans with the thought that, maybe I'm going to see her naked.
Buddy, if she's making $2 million a month, people are obviously on the understanding they've caught on by now, but they keep spending money. She's still,
An attractive woman.
right, and she's still Charlie Sheen's ex-wife.
So does she wear provocative stuff?
probably
on
I
there?
assume she's not wearing a parka, no, but I mean, I don't know for sure.
T-shirt and shorts.
I've never been on OnlyFans. I can safely
I
tell
have
you.
no. I don't even have. What do they do? Are they just?
I don't know.
Is this live or is this a video?
No, they're recorded
they're
videos
recorded,
typically, but I think some people do some live stuff. I think they do.
Do
by
they
re-
like dance to songs?
Maybe.
I
Or
don't
do
know.
they just sit there and talk?
I don't know. By request. She seems kind of vapid to me. She doesn't seem like somebody that I would be real intrigued
Denise
by.
Richards?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Does.
I don't want to judge. Who am I? I'm an idiot. What are we playing for today?
We're playing for Gangster Museum of America pair of tickets.
One pair.
2
tickets.
today. Yes.
Got it. Great. Ready? Sorry, the intern's out today. Got no help.
I know. And
She's
I
helping her
feel
dad do
bad.
something
Whoever
today.
you assigned to me, I feel bad for him.
You might win.
I guess.
No.
You might win the lottery.
I might.
It's now time for Birthday Trivia in the Zone. Brought to you by Elia's Mexican Grill. Award-winning Mexican food made fresh daily. Take care of the misses in your life with a personalized tumbler from her boutique. Take exit 108 to Elia's in Morrilton.
$12.27. Hey, Wes, remind me to tell you guys a great story in the break. Sorry, listeners, I can't tell you on the air, but it is in line with the story you told earlier, and it's pretty funny. It does not involve me, thank God. Anyway, Wes, Christian, Coach Kelly. Here we go. Thomas, you're going to be with Wes Moore. Christian, you got Jeff, 661-1037. Give me one more player. Give me one more player. Give me one more player. Let's go. Who wants to go to the Gangster Museum in Hot Springs?
If we don't get another player, can I be on Wes's team?
Yeah, no.
Can I be on Christian's team?
No, you may not, sir.
Can I be on your team?
Yeah, you can be on my team. I know all the answers, though, and I'm not going to help you.
That's right. Oh,
sorry. Well, that wouldn't be fair.
There's a winner. Right there.
I mean, that would be like you and me playing Wes and Joe in pickleball. I mean, it'd just be silly.
I still think tell the morning show. That'd be a great deal. Let's play it like at 9 a.m. when it kind of slows down for them a little bit. They can describe it, talk about the upcoming tournament. We can beat them, have target practice. It'll be fun.
Like all that.
Wes has got big arm. If he does hit the ball and it hits you, it's going to hurt.
Yeah.
Looks like he can swing the paddle.
Well,
really
you're
hard.
assuming he's going to hit it where he wants to hit it.
Radius, right? Does
Yeah,
that
radius
help?
helps a lot,
Yeah.
yeah. And plus, people try to lob it. You're so tall, it's hard to, and you can't lob it over Joe and
Yeah.
still get it in.
No.
Because the court's really short.
Yeah. Listen, you know how you get on me about lobbing?
Please,
There will be no lobbing with this group.
I would have to beg you not to lob it.
I
'Cause
want
I
you
have to beg him when we play together. Please stop lobbing the ball. Because he lobs it just high enough for them to just take target
Smash
practice
it.
on us. Yeah.
I really have been good about not lobbing. I think you'd be proud of me.
I mean, I'm proud.
I really have.
If
I hear you in the back of my head.
I think you want to win.
Yes.
And you have to learn what you're not good at.
Right. That takes probably, is that the hardest shot, would you say? I think that's the hardest shot.
Yeah, that's a pretty hard
to be
shot. To be
consistent.
good at it, yeah. Because you got to get over them, but under
And
the back
down.
line. Yeah,
We're going to become the pickleball show if we don't quit it. All right, let's move on. This woman's an actress. Bailey, you're with Coach. Did I mention this already? Jeff,
No.
you're with Christian, and Thomas, you're with Wes. This woman's an actress. She was in The Other Sister. Excuse me. The Basketball Diaries. She was in What's Eating Gilbert Grape. Better known for her roles in Cape Fear.
Juliette Lewis.
Juliette Lewis, Wes. That's right. Loved her in
Cape Fear.
No,
good.
she was great in that.
She's kind of a
no.
Cape
whiner,
Fear,
isn't
Cape,
she?
Cape
She's
Fear was
whiner.
a great movie.
She was in
both versions of it
what's
are
the
good.
movie where she's the weird? You know what? I tried to tell the morning show that she was in the show Single White Female, but she was not. That was not Juliette Lewis at all. I was completely wrong. My bad. That was different actress. Cannot think of her name. Bridget Fonda was the good girl, and then she had the weird roommate,
haven't
but it was
seen
not Juliette Lewis. Single White Female is a creepy ass movie.
Ooh,
yeah, you need to watch it. Anyway, how old's Juliette Lewis, Wes?
49.
Okay, Christian.
Juliette Lewis is 50.
50, that's right. And Christmas Vacation, we shouldn't forget, too. That was
Yes.
pretty important. This guy was, he's a liar, frankly. He told people that he was beaten up by two men because he's a homosexual.
Juicy Smollett.
Sure. However you pronounce that.
Jesse. It's
Jesse Juicy. Story was pretty juicy, and he got in some big trouble. How old is he? Can't believe I'm talking about him today.
I think it's Jesse Smollett. But
Jussie.
he is 38.
39.
40.
Bingo. 41, actually. Not really bingo. All right. I had Christian put this song in today, so I will tell you that it's Family Ties is the song.
Michael J. Fox.
No.
Meredith Baxter Burney.
Meredith Baxter Burney is correct, sir. Meredith Baxter Burney and Michael Gross were born on the exact
We're on
same
the same day, yeah.
So they played the mom and the dad.
Yep.
Meredith Baxter Burney, very interesting story. She was married to not one, not two, three men.
At
And
the
now
same
she's-
time?
No.
Okay.
Back to back to back. She was married to a guy named Bernie at one point. That's why she was Meredith Baxter Bernie. Now, since 2013, she's been married to Nancy Locke. That's right.
Wow.
She figured out after 3 husbands, she's actually a lesbian.
Well, I don't know if she's a lesbian or just decided men. You just can't have a good marriage with them.
You know what? More sympathetic I could not be.
Or she's
But I'm not switching teams. Sorry, guys. Coach, how old are Michael Gross and Meredith Baxter today?
They're the same age.
Exact same day.
I knew they were born in the same.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, I didn't know the
That's
same
pretty
year.
cool. And played husband
year.
and wife for a little 76.
Let me do the math on this. They're not 76, I don't think, though. They are 76, actually. Good call. Bingo, bango. Good work.
That's unbelievable. I finally get
amazing.
one right.
That's 3 points for you.
Yes. I'm not going to be dead last for the whole time.
This guy's a royal. You're tied for first right now. This guy's a royal, Duke of Cambridge, second in line of succession for the
Prince
British throne.
Henry, Prince William, Prince Harry.
Prince William, Wes. Why don't you name all the princes you know? Is he first in line now behind his dad? Is he next, or is there an uncle or somebody that's in line? I don't know how that works. I don't care either because the monarchy is a joke. How old is Prince William today, Wes? We're still talking about the birthdays, though. So I guess I'm the joke.
34.
No. Christian.
38.
No.
I don't even know who this is.
Prince William?
40,
Yes, you do.
40.
He's Harry's brother.
Oh, that guy.
Yes.
I think I want to get a bingo bango, but I don't. I think he's. What's the highest number said so far?
34,
Don't-
38. What'd you say, 41?
I said like 38.
He said 38, so I'm just going to go 39.
He's 41.
So I won again.
Yes.
They made it easy, though.
They don't know, obviously.
I guess I was thinking he was like 45.
He's not.
Did you give me my point?
I will. I'm trying to find this song because I didn't realize that I had it. And I know it's in here, but
Last name first.
no, it's not. And that's the problem. Hell with it. I don't know. Maybe
Sing
it's just... No! Okay, I will, actually, because I can't find it. That's annoying. I know we have it somewhere because we played it before, unless somebody deleted it out of the system wisely. It's Friday, Friday. Very good, Christian. Sorry. That was as far as I needed.
Music.
Yes, it's crazy. She also switched teams.
Yeah, she did.
Yep, that's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Christian, how old's Rebecca Black?
Rebecca Black. She's probably close to my age.
I gotta say, she is darling. She really aged very nicely. She's very cute and not talented.
No, not that talented. Although her music now is better than that.
Less
But,
terrible.
I'll say
Let's move. Go ahead.
27.
27. No. Gotta move this along because you're gonna cut into what the hell, and I'm gonna be
29.
upset. No.
30.
26. Christian, good enough.
Oh, she is my age.
This guy's an actor, Jurassic World.
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt, coach, you're on fire today. How old? Come on, nail it. Nail it. Let's go. Give me a number.
44.
Bingo bango, coach. Bam, you're on fire. They're under pressure.
No,
This guy's
I
a
believe me, I'm not on this.
former NBA basketball player, went to the University of Utah, played for the Sixers, Hornets, Jazz, Suns, Supersonics, and the Clippers. 4-time All-Star
Bradley?
and NBA All-Star MVP in 1987.
87 MVP?
Yep. All-Star
All-Star
game
MVP.
MVP.
Hornacek?
No. Hornacek. No.
Went to Utah.
But you're close. He is pasty. Tom Chambers, happy birthday
Tom
today.
Chambers, I
I
remember.
know he
Played
went
for
to
the Seattle
Utah.
Supersonics.
He's one of
64.
2 players to score over 20,000 points and not be in the Hall of Fame.
There you go.
Slam dunk.
I
champ,
couldn't believe
right?
he won that All-Star game. I remember it.
He won the slam dunk, or he just had
Did
the
not.
great slam
Had a great
dunk.
dunk, but he did not win it. I looked it up because I thought he had a dunk contest victory too. I
Yeah.
looked it up. Same thing. We all think the same way.
Chris Allen.
Chris Allen's right, Christian. Very good. How old, Wes?
40.
No. Christian.
41.
No.
42.
He is 38. Who got that?
Me.
Okay, good job, Wes. That's good for you, Coach, because actually you're not really competing with Wes anymore. You're only competing with Christian. It's not over yet, but it's close. This guy was in a draft. Number 1 in the draft was Kwame Brown. Joe Johnson 10th. Tony Parker was a steal at 28.
Right.
This guy went 13th overall. Won the NBA championship
Where'd
in
he go to?
2016 with the Cleveland Cavaliers. University
Jefferson.
of Arizona star Richard Jefferson is how old today?
RJ. He is. You going to do some math real quick?
Real quick.
What championship did he win?
2016.
2016 with Cleveland.
He is
Go.
41.
No.
40.
No.
2.
3. Okay, it's pretty tight. 7-7-5. All right, last one. This guy had 19 rebounds in the national championship game. A loss.
Patrick Ewing.
He only had 8 points, though. Went to Syracuse. Played for the Nets,
Ronnie Cycli,
Sixers, Hornets, and Pistons. Averaged 16.5 points in his career, 9.3 rebounds.
Coleman, Rod,
Oh,
John
that's-
Coleman,
that-
Ron
no.
Coleman, Rod.
I'll give it to you. Coleman, Derek Coleman. It's a tight
Derek
race.
Coleman.
All right, Wes, how old is Derek Coleman
For
today?
the walk-off win.
For the walk-off win, Wes. For the walk-off win. Let me do the math.
I'm doing math too.
Okay.
Derek Coleman.
Yep. Okay.
47.
No, actually no. That's not even close. Actually, Christian, what do you got?
He's 55.
For the win?
54.
Oh,
gosh,
he's
dang.
56. We tied.
Oh,
We tied.
What year was Derek Coleman?
That was like
87.
late 80s. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, when they
That's
lost
why I went-
the Key Smart shot. The Key Smart shot. Yeah.
oh man.
that's why it's off a decade.
Yeah.
What do we do for a
What
tie?
team
Me
was
win?
RJ drafted by?
Well, you don't get to make the tiebreaker goof. You're in it.
Let me ask Christian a question, see if he gets it, and then that's the winner.
You know what? Just give them both.
Yeah, they can both.
And then we'll give away rock and roll sushi tomorrow.
So kind of I won.
Yeah, you tied for
We
first.
tied.
Good job.
Yes,
No
I'll take
tiebreaker.
it. I hate time, but I'll
Shame
love
on
it.
my part for
And,
not having a
Christian's-
tiebreaker.
Christian's so good at it too.
Was it Jeff and Bailey?
It was 1. No, it was 2 and 3. Yes, Jeff and Bailey. That's right. Sorry, Thomas. Wes was real close today. Good effort, Wes.
It was a
You were just off
comeback.
a
You
decade.
counted me out.
You were just off a decade. No, I'm sorry. I misspoke. I apologize. You were right. I was wrong.
You asked a couple of NBA questions. That's auto
I know.
Christian.
But you hung in there.
advantage.
Well, nobody could think of Derek
Derek
Coleman's first
Coleman,
name.
yeah.
I know. I kept thinking Vince, but that's the guy that played for the Cardinals that stole bases.
True Service
ran
Community
over.
Federal Credit Union will get you a home equity loan so that you can upgrade your home, get a new pool, new flooring, maybe a custom shower or a kitchen remodel. They're also offering a vacation now, pay later offer. It's vacation season. True Service Community Federal Credit Union will get you that loan for $3,000 and up to 1% off regular rates. This offer is valid through August 31st. And you can get one of the lowest interest rates in the nation with the True Service Visa Platinum Card. They offer no transfer fees, no over limit fees, and no annual fees. So you can see how True Service Community Federal Credit Union can help save you some money. Get with Linda Jeffrey. She's the president over there. Tommy and his staff do a great job. Go online, apply at trueservice.net, get pre-approved today.
the hell, bro?
What the hell's going on here?
What the hell's the matter with you?
All right, welcome back to Kevin Kelly's favorite time of the show. And, Coach, I'm telling you, if this one doesn't get you, it's from the world of collegiate athletics. An assistant women's bowling coach at Stephen F. Austin in Nacogdoches, Texas, is out after the university discovered he had a relationship with a student athlete, also known as a bowler. Steve Lemke opted to resign rather than be fired after the school learned of the relationship, which also led to a split from his wife. Why? Because she's the head coach of the bowling team.
Wow.
Yeah, the plot thickens. It's not done just yet, though. Just wait, Coach. I'm just getting warmed up. He's not working anymore, says the athletic director. From a departmental standpoint, he had a choice, and he chose to resign. Yeah, he did all right. The 38-year-old is married to head coach Amber Lemke. He helped coach the team to 2 national titles and 2 second-place finishes before resigning April 10th. The couple has since filed for divorce, according to court records. You don't say. Lemke said his wife learned of the relationship when she saw text messages from the woman on his phone. I knew it was kind of a no-no. This is a quote. I'm not making this up. This is from ESPN.com. I knew it was kind of a no-no, but there's not a rule saying it can't happen. There's not a law saying I'm going to go to jail for doing something like this. There's nothing in stone. I guess it's just an ethics code. Like, we frown upon it, but there's no rule. There's no law broken. The student, by the way, is no longer on the team. She exhausted her eligibility. So
That was his actual quote.
That was, Coach, if I'm lying, I'm dying.
That's unbelievable.
Wes, there you go for your chump of the week on Friday.
Thank
Please
you.
reread that whole thing. 'cause it's
He's the
fantastic.
kind of guy that, thank God, they came up with automated scoring like back in the 70s. You know, you used to have to do it yourself because he wouldn't be able to do it.
Coach, thank God they came up with neutering. Okay, that's the reason
That too,
vasectomies were invented. That guy does not need to ever be made. What an idiot!
I read it. Maybe it's a different story, but he went on and he was trying to rationalize it. That when he was a volunteer coach for a while, and he was doing basically all the work, and then his wife would get to travel with the team. And while the wife was traveling with the team, he was back home keeping the kids. He was doing double duty, but he wasn't getting to go to these tournaments and travel with the team.
Those are all true facts too.
He finally got to become an assistant coach, and he said all that happened then was my wife gave me all the duties that the head coach would do, and I felt underappreciated.
And so,
Well, he showed her, didn't he?
Yeah, so he cheated on her with
One of the bowlers.
one of the players.
The guy saw a 7-10 split. He just couldn't resist.
I have so many thoughts going through my head.
Go ahead,
so
Coach.
many.
That's why you're here, is to say those
no,
thoughts.
No. These are thoughts that you might even hesitate to say.
I think that's hard to believe. A U.S. billionaire family based in the U.K. has gone viral after posting a job opening for a full-time dog nanny with a salary of $127,000 a year. I don't know what that equates to in pounds. Our returning client is seeking an exceptional and highly experienced dog nanny to provide top-tier care for their 2 beloved dogs. They're truly looking for someone at the top of their field who can ensure the overall well-being, happiness, and safety of the dogs. I mean, no offense to my veterinary friends, and I'm sure they're all doing quite well for themselves. But I would think if you're a full-fledged vet, $127,000 is a pretty good deal, especially if they're giving you a place to stay as a nanny. Like, you rent-free, you food-free, $127,000 salary. Like, yeah. I mean, I might go become a vet to take that job. How many?
99,488 pounds.
Okay, thank you.
So we're getting 30,000 less.
I haven't checked the latest conversions. Coach, this from the Too Stupid to Live list. A fan that was charged with chucking a cell phone at BB Rex's face. Did you see this the other day?
No.
It's the end of the concert. This big phone comes up. It's like an iPhone. It's a plus. It's like a 13 plus. Boom! Right in the face it hits her.
Wow.
As she performed at a Manhattan concert Sunday, allegedly committed the assault for his own amusement. Now, he didn't throw it up there like going, I hope you take a selfie. Like when I saw Dave Matthews at the Amp, and I've seen other artists do this, they're like, toss me your phone. Selfie, selfie, tosses the phone back. Phone. Selfie, selfie, tosses the phone back. That's not going on here. She's just singing a song, whacks her in the head. I was trying to see if I could hit her with the phone at the end of the show because it would be funny, says the worst person in the world named Nicholas Malvagna. The 27-year-old's been arrested and charged with assault, aggravated harassment, attempted assault, and harassment after his alleged stunt left the singer with a black eye. The 33-year-old's been a good sport about it, posting pictures. This guy's been ordered to stay away from Rex, so you won't find it hard to believe that this moron is from New Jersey.
Can I ask 2 questions?
You
One,
can do anything you want.
One, you named off his list of charges. One of them was assault, and the other one was attempted assault. Can you charge him with assault and attempted assault? I mean, not to defend the guy,
Like
but
if
I mean,
you kill somebody, you should get attempted murder too. Did you attempt the murder? I did. Did you complete the murder? I sure did.
The other thing is, you didn't say, was there alcohol involved?
I think there's brain trauma involved. This guy's got to have something. Your wiring's got to be crossed to see. Let me see if I can hit the singer that I paid money to go see in the head with my phone.
This is a really
You
good
stupid
idea.
idiot. You think you're going to get your phone back? Like, you want to throw a golf ball at her, still terrible, but like you're not worried about getting the golf ball back. It's your damn phone, moron.
Wait, is it a Pro V1?
All right, Wes.
That's why I've decided. That's why I decided before I do anything kind of odd, I run the thought through my head: is this a good idea or a bad idea? Because I can't imagine that guy ever thinking that through and going, "This is a good idea." What good's coming out of that? Although his name is out there now.
Yes. Idiot from New Jersey. We've already had Florida man. We've had Florida woman. Now we have New Jersey man. Coach, I teased this story last week and you sounded intrigued, so I'm going to end with this. Mourners at an Ecuadorian wake were left stunned after their dead relative began banging on the inside of her coffin. Bella Montoya, 76, regained consciousness during the vigil. The incredible video shows medics tending to her after her loved ones realized she's still alive. She can be seen clearly breathing as she's removed from the casket and placed onto a stretcher. Her left hand was hitting the side of the coffin, says her son. Cause of death was listed as cardiorespiratory arrest. Well, I'd like to get a second opinion, Doc, if you don't mind. According to a news source down there, the arrest caused her to suffer catalepsy, a trance-like condition marked by the rigidity of the body, decreased sensitivity to pain, and slower bodily functions such as breathing. I've had a few relationships like that over the years. As a result, hospital staff allegedly believed that she had passed away. Montoya is now being tended to at the same hospital that declared her dead, and her son says she's in stable condition. Apparently, that's the only one around.
It's got to be.
They're like, can I go somewhere else? That's like the time that I was on a flight to Vegas, and we're about to land, and we get down, and we touch the runway, and the guy peels right back up, and I'm like, what in the hell just happened? And he says, the crosswind was too strong. We're going to try to land it again on the same runway. And I'm like, no.
Well, the wind gusts.
Let's get a different.
I've been in one that does that.
I want a different runway. I want a different one.
They do have a different direction.
Yes,
for
I know.
that very reason. I don't know. Well, I bet he tried to go to a different runway, and the air traffic controller was like, "Nah, buddy, you're good. That's under our limit."
He's like, "Are you
Limit's
a
40? It's
Yeah.
38.
Yeah.
You're good."
They said, are you a man or a mouse? Will you come on already? And he's like, look, I'm drunk like that Delta guy they arrested the other day. I
Did
don't
he
care.
land it fine?
We did. I'm here.
Well, then you're fine.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, you were worried about nothing.
I watched a movie about
Worried
Denzel doing
about
cocaine. He was landing planes.
Look, bro.
That just means he landed it better because he can think faster.
He flew upside down. I mean, Captain Sullenberger landed one in the river. Shouldn't have been a big deal. You're right. Maybe I overreacted a bit.
You overreacted.
Fine.
I could land that thing.
I'm soft. What do you want from me?
I'd love to be in a plane, a commercial plane, that the pilot goes out and they have to walk back and go, can anybody here fly this plane? I'm raising my hand and said, let me up there.
You know, a lot of people think you're cocky. I think you are beyond that. I don't know what you are. If you think you can land a full-fledged airliner,
I will guarantee you there's no way to prove it. I could land a commercial airline.
Well,
I need somebody talking to me.
why don't we stick you
But I could do
like
it.
in a simulator and see if you can pull it off?
Huh? I've been in the cockpit of a plane 400 times while it's been flying.
I'll put it to you this way. You're not the last person I would choose. I believe that you would do everything in your power to get it done, and you have a willingness to live
I would get it
and to
done.
compete that you would find a way.
I would get it
Confidence too.
Yeah, confidence.
I would get it done.
Yeah, you're not gonna sit up there and sweat and freak out, lose your mind.
It'd be a little stressful.
Yeah.
I'd like it better if it's just me and you. The stress wouldn't be nearly as much. I figure
Yeah.
the world's good either way. But with a bunch of passengers, it'd be a little more stressful.
Yeah.
But you want to be in control too. If there's somebody else on the plane,
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to be the one.
Yeah. If it's,
If it
I've
crashes,
always-
it's going to be my fault.
Listen, that's what
Not
I've-
somebody over here that's freaking out.
I don't
panicking.
want you. I don't want you.
That's like when all those years,
calm.
all those years
I
I was
know.
coaching. The last statement was, if this ship's going down, if we couldn't decide as a staff, and I didn't, this ship's going down, it's going down. Me making the decision.
That's right.
And that's the way the plane would be too.
That's it. Yep.
I would
It's
love that.
fourth and goal.
Let's go rent us a little plane. Me and you just fly it around.
We'll be back. Tell you about our friends over at Gwatney. John Neighbors is in here, too, for Out of Bounds. Coming up next, I encourage you to stick around. Wes, we just got some bad news. The poor woman that was alive at her own funeral, turns out, is dead.
She died later.
Yeah, we're all going to die sometime. So listen, she got a couple extra days with family. I'd say that's stealing time, man. Good for her. Look, you want to feel like you're stealing a car? Get out to Gwatney. You don't literally do it, but you're going to feel like you did because it's such a good deal right now. All offers with approved credit, but here's the offers right now. Up to $7,500 off new Silverados with a 2009 or newer trade-in. So go out and see them for details. By the time, we got to get James on this week because I want to hear what happened with the Corvette. 5.9% for 72 months on Silverados when financing with GM as well. And everything new as low as 6.99% through GM Financial. They've also got a great selection of pre-owns. Wes was talking about it. We did drive by there on our way to Cabot yesterday. They do have a very nice-looking lot right now. More cars coming all the time. James is getting them as fast as he can. Good selection now and great selection coming. So plenty of offers for you and plenty of opportunities for you to get the car of your dreams. And again, you get $2,000 off in-stock 23 Equinox as well. So go out and see our friends at Gwatney Chevrolet. So many reasons why. They're at GwatneyChevrolet.com. John Neighbors is here.
I am.
Hi, buddy.
How's it going?
And everything's great. How many SEC teams make the championship series? That's our question of the day today. 1-2-0.
1. I would say 1.
Would you like to have 2 SEC teams in the final?
No,
I
I want
didn't figure
none
you
of
would.
them in there.
Coach, is that your phone?
Yeah.
What are you doing over there?
Looking at the helmets.
Okay. Thanks, Coach. That's a dynamite drop in. All right, John, why don't you tell me what's coming up on Out of Bounds?
Great segue. Today, we're going to have Pat Bradley on in the 2 o'clock hour. Looking forward to that. And in the 3 o'clock hour, we're actually going to talk a little Florida baseball and football because Andrew Spivey of Gator Country is going to join us. We'll get a breakdown from that. And also have...
Hey, ask him about the kid that they lost out on that's now going to Ole Miss.
Oh, yeah. We're going to talk about that.
I mean, he's a 25 kid, and he's going to play in 23. It doesn't make any sense to me.
And he's 16 years old.
I don't understand it.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
He'll be 17 when school starts.
But, yeah, that makes sense.
Eye roll.
Yeah. But,
Anyway.
we'll talk about that with him. And also a kid named Noah Washington. He's a student at the U of A. He's gone viral because of these videos that he's made called Riding Along with a lot of Razorback big-time athletes. And so we're going to have him on just kind of talk about that content that he has. It's really good stuff if you haven't checked it out.
Is he sponsored? Does he have a sponsor for his
I think so.
content?
Yeah.
Ask him about that.
Okay.
Because if not, maybe we can work something out.
I mean, it's all part of the plan.
Good work, John.